topics, whether conscious or cosmic. It's never nonsense, mega levels or microscopic. It's a Killah Priest project, AD control the rocket. Before we land the plane, many things we engage and explain. The unexplained, without mask. Welcome to the Killah Priest podcast. Killah Priest podcast.
Just start us over.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good.
Here we go. Yeah, we good.
I'm good now?
Yeah, I can see it now.
Okay.
I had to reselect the device for some reason.
All good, man. Things happen like that, you know. We just making sure that the production is down. No, you good. But I'm just saying, make sure the production is we just doing everything. I said a whole bunch, man. I just went on. But we got a lot of stuff. It's the first day of spring. I'll try to repeat a little bit if y'all didn't hear me. You know what I'm saying? So, so the first days of spring, and we got a lot of things that's going on. Solo Jim's been helping me out. AD as well. Yeah. And so now we're getting a lot of things that we're doing. A lot of shows are coming up. A lot of things. You got this new song that Priest drop. Now we got the path that's out right now. We're gonna play a little bit of that, and you know his routine. Go step. So that wow, and we have a really good show coming today. We're gonna have Vinny coming through, and he's gonna bring Bart. I know a lot of people is shout out to Bart. Vinny's gonna come on. And we're gonna get started. We right now we got the exclusive that's dropping. No one knew about that. I told them there was a secret music coming. You know, we got some good stuff that's going on. You know, so shout out to everybody that's out there. So I guess we can start right here before we get started. You know what I mean? Let's play a little bit of it. AD. Scientists study the rhesus monkeys near the eastern countries. Greece for Caesars and Egypt for mummies. She takes a sip of honey, the queen bee hides the hive amongst the trees. The monks roll up leaves, harvest rice and tea on the donkeys. Flower nectar, lotus, they notice bees hungry. The powder's measured and put in grams in Pakistan. It's stacked in brand, placed upon a caravan. Ancient as the Pharaoh lands, and Bantus with a camel stand. They take samples and light candles and gamble, mouth rambling. The taboo of tattoos of Heru on Tamu. Angel Gabriel, Cain and Abel. The ring and chain appraisal. Prayer, holy air up the nasal. Ointment, sage roots, and basil. My acupuncture, my voodoo doll, pins and Jesus. Dead bleeding from the crucifix holes I hold. Let his blood drip in the bowl. I keep flicking the skull.
Heru in the building.
You fill the dish with some
exclusive
cloves,
for you, my brother.
Rosemary's in the foot of a crow. Cat's tongue, I'm the black one. Before my raps come, these are my actions. Each doll I pack them with bat crumbs. Embroidered in my pen before before I begin. These are my origins. Deadly four sins of the horsemen. The Philistines, the guillotine, cut off their foreskins. Saul and David were still the kings. Atheists hold crosses. I'm lawless when writing. Flawless, tortured, Horus when rhyming. With the mortars outlining.
Burn down
white
the building.
chalk, lights on. Priest with the mic cross. Killer let the knife talk. Leave you on the sidewalk. The ghost rides the white horse. The rat dies from night hawks. The holy ceremony begins. Light the torch. The corpse, the seance. White paper, black crayons. Bath to the graveyard. Mass under the quasars. The heavens clash with hell. Gravity propels. The mountains lift up as well as the storms fell. Flip a coin, heads or tail on Jezebel. Crucifixions or better nails. Lucifer Christians, the undead dwells. Eyes closed, so did the Bible and said spells. So like wine red and red. Beheld, my eyes were white like the pearls from an oyster shell. When I write, it's like show and tell. Israelites in the old Israel. The 60 life with co-and-tell. Pro, chariots of fire follow my flow. With winged angels, each direction arching their bows. I get dark as they go. Black cherubim strumming harps get exposed. They come apart into priest fold. Me and the beat becomes one soul. Then I fade into light while waving the mic. Witness the sun scroll. Written in my pine, no pen. No beginning, no end. Hell is only forgotten. It came from the wind.
Fortress in the building.
Into Kundalini. I lift my beanie, there's a blue genie.
Yes,
Next to
sir.
godliness, too cleanly but true king.
It's hit hard. It's hit a little different.
Or inky too. I'm just
take
an
your
MC.
time.
KP, the corpse, the seance. White paper, black crayons. The path to the graveyard. The mass under quasars.
Produced by Purpose. Hey. Tall God, hey, Rule in the building. Hey. Got Hey Rule on the side.
Oh, yeah. The Hey Rule clan. Everybody's a Hey Rule.
No doubt, man. Yo, so yeah, that's the leak right there, man. That's the leak, man. Good looking, everybody that's out there, man. We got music coming. So that's what we've been doing in the cut. You know, we're gonna run it back. We're gonna run it back later on in the show, man. Yeah, Tragic Allies that's produced. That's the same, no doubt. Shout out. I love it. Something different when Tall God Hey Ruth throw the fires up there. You know what I mean? Shout out to the Aboriginals. I see y'all in there with the bow and arrow in the building. Yeah, man, it's a lot of things happening, man. How's everyone's? I hope everyone had a great weekend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, we can run it down, man. How was your weekend? We'll just start over there with Sewell. How was your weekend?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, it was regular kind of a weekend. Hanging out with you.
Oh, okay.
But, no, wait, no. I was
right.
with you. Where was I at? Yes. I was.
You was with me.
What you got?
Yeah. Shout out to Dave Frost. Oh, let me say this. So we're gonna start the Podcraft, and it's gonna be the best cook or your best meal that you cook. So we started yesterday. We did a run back with Dave Flores. Made some great Thai food.
Oh, yeah.
Banging.
You made this traditional, that green rice. I mean that green curry that he make is man, something to behold, bro. It's something to behold. He put it there. What you think?
It was busting. Trust me, it was good.
You know, you cook.
Yeah, that was good. Had flavor elements I like, you know what I mean? Can't complain, man. He did his thing on that, you know?
Yeah. It's something like a little party. What you think? What you think?
Got one.
Honestly.
He forgot one thing in the ingredient.
What was that?
Oh.
What was that? So we was just saying that. What was that? The leaf. He forgot
the lemon leaf.
That lemon leaf. He forgot to throw that lemon leaf in there. But overall,
is that like a bay leaf? Or it's different?
Lemon leaf, a lime leaf.
Lime?
Yeah. It's like a bait. Well, they all different, different flavors. But you know,
got the curry leaf.
Yeah, you got the leaf that come out and you know brings out the flavor.
The essence.
Basil is kind of like mega famous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It comes to it. Yeah, we're gonna run it back. We're gonna run it back. Let's run it back one more time.
It was a delicious meal.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout out to David Flores.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Dave. So on the first tip, he gets I'm gonna give him a 10. You know what I mean? And then we're gonna I should have filmed it, but we're gonna film it next time. But we just getting started, so we wanted to. He came to the spot, man, and put it down. He cooked it right there in front of us. Like, oh wow, this is great. And we had a lot of guests over. It was nice. So we enjoyed it. It was great.
Yeah.
And thank you, Dave Flores. Lil Da Vinci was in the building. You know what I'm saying? So it was really good. Yeah, she said lemon leaves contain compounds that support liver function. You know, yeah, and it is good to have a little science behind it, but nothing beats if it tastes good. If it tastes good and good for you, that's an extra 10. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's an extra 10 I'm going to put on it. You know what I'm saying? So we have been studying the foodist. We are foodist over here.
Yeah, you know, we got that.
Foodology.
Yeah, foodology.
I'm coming with it. I'm going to be up next.
Oh, yeah, okay, all right. What would you be making? We're gonna hold you to this because you switch up. Is it gonna be chicken or fish?
We're gonna make some chicken yassa.
Okay, chicken yassa
from Senegal.
From Senegal. Yeah, okay, yeah. All right.
I've been studying the West African cuisines.
Okay, so is it gonna be like is it spicy or is it sweet? What is it like? More of a?
It's kind of like a spice to it. You know what I mean? It has some interesting ingredients.
You ain't gotta tell us. Yeah. Tell us. We're gonna take you up on that, man.
I'm pretty sure some of you guys out there may have had chicken yassa before from Senegal.
Yeah. Okay. Well, no. So yeah, it's chicken yassa. So Sula will be making chicken yassa, and if y'all have any best food that y'all like, please let us know. We have a very
bless you in advance.
I don't get it. Yeah, right, exactly.
Right.
I know, right? Yeah, it's crazy. Well, anyway, let me say this. Let's run it back one more time to Vinny come up in this building. We got Vinny and Bart coming.
Scientists study the rhesus monkeys near the
This is for Tall God Hey Roo. Make sure you hit that CashApp.
Or that super chat. Hive amongst the trees. The monks roll up leaves. Harvest rice and tea on the donkeys. Flower nectar. Lotus, they notice bees hungry. The powder's measured and put in grams in Pakistan.
For the rocket,
it's stacked in bran and placed upon a caravan. Ancient is the fallow lands and Bantus with a Campbell stand. They take samples and light candles and gamble, mouth rambling. The taboo of tattoos of Heru on Tamu. Angel Gabriel, Cain and Abel. The ring and chain appraisal. Prayer, holy air up the nasal. Ointment, sage roots, and basil. My acupuncture, my voodoo doll, pins and Jesus. Dead bleeding.
We're gonna do a knowledge horn breakdown.
Let his blood drip in a bowl. I keep flicking his skull. Then I pick and pinch in his bulge. Then fill the dish with some cloves. Rosemary's in the foot of a crow. Cat's tongue, I'm the black one. Before my raps come. These are my actions. Each doll I pack them with bat crumbs and pour it in my pen before I begin. These are my origins. Deadly 4 sins of the horsemen. The Philistines' guillotine, cut off their foreskins. Saul and David were still the kings. Atheists hold crosses. I'm lawless when writing. Flawless, torture, Horus when rhyming. Rigor mortis outlining.
Stand up.
White chalk, lights off. Priest with the mic
Dave
cross.
Flores
Killer
in the building.
let the knife talk. Leave you on the sidewalk. The ghost rides the white horse. Rat dies and nighthawks. Unholy ceremony begins like the torch.
We can run it all day.
Seance. White paper, black crayons. The path to the graveyard. The mass under the quasars. The heavens clash with hell. Gravity propels. The mountains lift up as well as the storms fell. Flip a coin, heads or tail on Jezebel. Crucifixions or better nails. Lucifer Christians, the undead dwells. Eyes closed, so that the Bible and said spells. He likes his wine red.
Yeah, there we go.
Hell, her eyes were white like the pearls from my oyster shell. When I write it's like show and tell.
Check out the green
Israelites in the
Kenya.
oldest realm.
Okay.
The sixth life.
We're gonna bring that back.
Hotel.
God of the God.
Chariots of fire follow my flow. With winged angels each direction arching.
Now
their
it's born in
bows.
the
I
building.
get dark as they go.
Yeah.
Black cherubim strumming harps get exposed. They come apart into priest fold. Me and the beat becomes one soul. Then I
Shout out to
fade
Coach
into light
Saka.
while waving the mic. Witness the sun scroll. Written in my pioneer pen. No beginning, no end. Helen's only begotten. It came from the wind. I'm
Yo.
Houdini into Kundalini. I lift my beanie. There's a blue genie.
Next to godliness, too cleanly but true kingly. Priest, absolute, and new
Real hip-hop.
On ink is doing just the MC. KP, the corpse, the seance. White paper, black crayons, the past.
We'll do a show where we just run the joints. A little different, yeah. Right. Hey.
That was amazing.
Shout out to Purpose once again. He just keeps stuff coming, man. For real. Man, thank you, so.
Amazing. Simply amazing. Outstanding. Astonishing. Wizard with the pen.
Man, yo, thank you, man. I'm inspired. Hip hop has inspired me, man. Man, shout out to everyone who has inspired. And shout out to Purpose coming with such a crazy beat. You know, when y'all hear 95 Bodega out here in Purpose, he's been around. Shout out to Tragic Allies as a group also, man. Oh man, both. My mind's just racing right now. You know what I'm saying? Ralph said this was special. Someone said run Anak. If we do that, we can sit down and we can run a whole bunch of songs, man. We do got the work to do it, man. Thank you for that. Blessings to you, my brother. He said the pointed shape. If somebody said something, it was very arm, leg, arm, hey. He says the house is on fire. Shout out to you, my brother. Yo, we enjoying ourselves, man. Pronounced Roy Boss. Oh yeah. Oh, Roy Boss. Roy Boss. Raw Boys. Raw. It's Roy. That's a tongue twister. Roy Boss. Not Robus. Roy Boss. Well, you the one, man. Coming off. Man. We running it back. Man. We having a good time. It's ST Knack, definitely, man. ST Knack is one of the dopest MCs, man. Shout out to him. Old Tragic Ally. So yeah, me and we've been working for a minute. So me and Purpose got something secret on the way. And you know, we break down that Braxis, Rebus, Semha, Loroma. You heard it here first. You know what I mean? Now I was born gonna do a breakdown. I can't wait to jump on his joint, and then he's gonna come on here and do a breakdown. But right now, without further ado, we do have Vinny B in the building.
Hey man, good to see you guys.
What's up, my brother?
It was good.
Yo, nice song, Killah. You know, you got me automatically with saying COINTEL, and then of course you did that pause and then said pro.
Yeah.
You got me with that.
Hey man, hey.
So,
man, that's it.
and it's good to see my buddy Razul back, man.
Hey.
What's up? We back in full effect. We're here to spread the good news.
Yes.
That's
That's
right.
good,
That's what
man.
they call it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The good news, right?
Good news.
You know, we got Vinny back.
Vinny
We got
in the building.
Solo Gems.
Hey.
And of course, Melchizedek right here.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, Melchizedek. I think I'm the only person to call you that, huh?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to
good
say
as well.
Killah, and
It's
let's
well
put the
respected,
the
Huh?
Admiral Bird song too. That Admiral Bird song.
Oh yeah, man. We gotta run that. We're gonna run that later on. Yeah, we're gonna run that. Shout out to Donnie Arcade.
Yeah.
He's officially, we don't be saying his name enough, but he's officially, Royal Priesthood also, man. So he's gonna be on there. He got tracks. That track right there gave me chills when I first heard it, man. Him, Kai Zodiac, Cap Jones, man. Shout out to Ty Phoenix, one of the dopest MCs, you know what I'm saying? So all of them, man. Rifkin, you know what I'm saying? Kill Rifkin, man. You heard it? Kill Rifkin?
No, who's he?
Yeah, it's like,
Did I see him? Did I hear?
yeah, you probably,
I probably did hear him.
Yeah, listen, man.
I don't mean, is he new?
Yeah, he's from Kai Zodiac camp. But he's with all of us, so we all fan, but you already know if Kai Zodiac gonna bring somebody to the table, they straight gunner with their pen. So their pen is fully loaded.
I just talked to Kai Zodiac, actually.
Oh, shout out to that. Shout out. Word.
I talked to him on live.
Thanks.
Talked to him.
The Tropics.
Yeah, he's dope, man. I talked to him for a while, and then he
Of course.
I think he wanted to, he offered his expertise to me.
Oh, okay.
Like, you ever need any readings, I could almost kind of like, and I was like, oh, you're going to be like the You know, because the pharaohs, they always had the priest next to him, like,
Right.
you know what I mean? You know, because Kyle Zodiac, he's an astrologist.
Yeah.
Like he's like he's the real deal with it.
Shilajit Jesus. No doubt. No
You know,
doubt.
after he talked to you, Bill, with him talk about rhymes, he wants to do your chart.
See, that's what I like. when you can,
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, when you can do your art and your art manifests into realness, like you can, like some people, you know, when you know what you're talking about and you make it into the song, but you also know what you're dealing with, what you're talking about. That's that type of serum is the serum that we need. That's like health food because you know what you putting in it. You know the ingredients in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't want to go to CV. What's that? CVJ? What was they?
G.G. Jakes?
Nah, it's CMG. What's that? Vitamin store, AD. Would that give you a GNC? You want to go to that old roster, you know what I mean, with the laundry and all that lady, you know what I'm saying? This right here got buckwheat, you know what I mean, buckroot, and they got the roots, and this will help you with your, you know, these corporate companies, they have it, but it's packed out. But you want to, you know, somebody who knows the ingredients that go in it.
You want something that's not approved by the FDA.
That's right. Who's FDA? You know how they have to approve it, right? Exactly. We're the food
drug.
Oh, look at that. Food and drugs together. We're the Food and the Drug Administration.
Nowadays, it's the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
They in cahoots.
So I want to send out rest in peace today. Moment of silence for the New York Knicks. I mean, I'm sorry. It is what it is. Also,
I thought you would talk about the moment. You guys, a couple of hours ago, the Iranian president died in the plane crash.
Oh God! Wow. How long ago?
A couple of hours ago. I just seen someone sent me.
Oh man.
Yeah, him and some other people.
Him and the prime minister passed away.
Yeah. For real, today?
Yeah, it happened a few hours ago.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Actually, no. Wasn't it? Was it yesterday? The plane crashed, and then they confirmed it today that they all passed away.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just seen it was reported a couple hours ago.
Oh man. Oh well. Damn man. Sorry for the families, man.
Yeah.
Dang, what in the ditty is going on? Because it's so much stuff that's going on, you know. And then that plane goes down, and I was thinking, man, you know, the Cassie and Diddy incident, and then an apology. That's a whole bit. You know, everything's crazy right now.
Mm-hmm.
Man, what's going on? And then the Knicks, and then what happened? That tragedy that happened out in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
No, that was the Denver Nuggets.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord dealt with them viciously till they lost. And it was dealt with. And it's a sad day. Everybody's like, man, so many people went down. You know what I mean? And to see them next year, well, at least they have a chance to come back next year. You know what I'm saying? And redeem themselves.
Who's on the West Coast? Who's the dominating team?
Warriors.
Nah. I
well,
guess
those they don't make sense no more because this is the new world. Like this whole playoff thing. That's the thing about the sports. You know, when you lose, it's like you have a life. You know, so you can put this with knowledge too. Like they have a life going on, and then if you lose in 7 days, it said the Lord made the earth in 7 days. So and then on the 7th day he rested. Well, the Denver and the Knicks, they're resting now, and then he's going to do off more work. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we at.
Yeah.
So it's like the only people that's living now is who got the breath of life in them?
Boston versus the Pacers.
Pacers.
And then, you got they're still in there, and then
Boston
you got
Pacers,
Dallas and Minnesota.
There's only So there's only 4 left.
Yeah.
Oh really? So is nobody on the West Coast?
No, that's who's West Coast. Minnesota and Dallas.
Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
And
right, Midwest, but yeah, it's both.
No Warriors.
Oh, the Warriors been died. They you know, the Warriors,
man.
they off into, I'm a Steph Curry fan, man. And I was just like, sometimes meals don't go good. They don't have Curry in this.
It's kind of weird.
No.
It's like, when there's no Curry in there, it's like it's not exciting.
But
it's just plain rice.
It's called change,
exactly.
man.
Exactly.
It's a change.
A plain rice game.
Yeah.
So you don't even know who these guys are. Who's that guy?
It's a
You know what I'm saying?
change.
It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like you be looking at these guys play. It's like, wait a minute, who's this guy?
This new dude, Anthony.
It's a change, man.
Yeah, it's a change. It's a change. Yeah,
That's what happens.
Changing it up. Yeah, well, you know.
That's how years go by. You know, there was Jordan, right? It's just like Kobe Bryant came with Shaq. You know, so it's like, you know, there's always gonna be a change in sports.
Yeah.
It's endless. You know what I mean? It's end of an era.
These guys all look the same.
You got it. Well, yeah,
They look the same.
For every generation, there's a different kind of, and you know, sometimes it's out with the old, and you know, it's into. You got to know when to hang it up, and know when you know, if you go beyond your prime, sometimes you know it could get devastating to you. You get a little weak. The other cats, they coming in, they're more hungry. They want it. You know what I'm saying? You've been doing the same type of shot the whole time. My sound effects. You know what I mean? I like to talk. My hands are moving. So that's how you know how to cook. You know what I'm saying? Man, all right, man. Enough about us in sports, man. Let's get the cat who we all came to see, man. Vinny, what's good? What's going on?
No, man. You know, Bart Sibrel's. It was a little mix up on my part.
Yeah.
The timing.
Yeah.
So, he's going to be showing up a little bit late, but you know, Bart Sibrel, he's been on your show a couple of times.
Yes.
I was excited. Solo Gem got to see him last time. But to me, Killah, I mean, Bart Sibrel is like a legend, and it's like an honor, just like knowing you. Like sometimes I sit here and I'm just like, wow, it's, you know, some of the people that I've gotten to meet and interview in these past 10, 11 years. You know, Bart is amazing, especially like for America, a reporter who is exposing what could possibly be the biggest hoax in human history. So, you know, I'm always excited. Bart has written a new book, and that's why he reached out about coming on here. It's called was it the fate, something about the aliens from Planet X. That's the name of his new book that he wanted, that he reached out and said, let's do a show on. So, you know, that's something that you guys have heard me talk about a lot with the aliens and how this whole fake alien agenda is
Does
coming.
he know Billy Carson?
I don't know. We'll have to ask him. Bart Sibrel, I mean, he's all over the place. I mean, recently listening to him talk to people from China, and these people, this guy in China who works with the, you know, basically like their NASA, their space program. And I mean, Bart Sibrel's been interviewed by Geraldo, ABC, Fox. I mean,
That's a classic name, right?
We're lucky to have someone like Bart. And that he's still alive and that we get to talk to him. I just feel so privileged. And, you know, I'm grateful to you, Killah, always for letting these shows go on. Bart, for people. Oh my God, there's Bart, the legend himself.
Yeah, man.
Bart.
There you go.
I love your techno background. I like it.
Thank you. You talking about us?
Yeah, we're going.
Yeah, I love your background. It looks great.
We're going to light speed right now.
Hyperspeed.
That's
It's just for this month because you know it was May the 4th be with you, so we were celebrating Star Wars and everything. We're gonna switch.
Yeah. Don't forget to hit the dashboard to go into hyperspeed if there's a short in the in the spacecraft.
Oh yeah, we already had a short earlier.
What
But
do they call that? The hyperdrive, right?
Yeah. We're in a tractor beam right now and under the Empire. But yeah, that's just for today. On Wednesday, I'm gonna switch it up again. You know, we try to keep it interesting. But the idea is that we're in a craft.
That's the craft. We're moving around. Every now and then we shoot down the asteroids. I like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, we have the perfect guest too for it. Moon Man.
Yeah.
Bart Sibrel.
Man.
I mean, Bart, I could talk more about you, but I'd rather let you talk. I don't want to talk too much, but I mean, the work you've done is so important to me. That's why I'm really happy to bring it wherever we can, especially the Killah Priest podcast. I think that we're definitely going to have this alien disclosure coming out. Bart, I don't know if you know, but like a couple days ago, they're reporting that the Pope is going to have the first press conference possibly since 1978, where they're going to talk about aliens and these entities, basically like what your book is talking about, Bart. So I think this is perfect timing. It's really important. I've watched a couple of your recent videos on YouTube. Amazing stuff with the China and the other stuff, the AI. I definitely think, this audience should get to hear about with Russia and Putin and the AI, that story I recently saw you talk about. So yeah, that's just some of the stuff. I just wanted to prep it a little, and thank you again for your time. And it's an honor, as always, to be with you, Bart.
Oh, no problem. Glad to see everybody.
Yes.
Glad to see you
Glad
too.
to have you here. Glad to have you here. Hey. Man, that's Sewell. I don't know if you met Sewell already. Word.
I remember Bart. I don't know if he remembers me though.
Yeah, last time we did the show.
There you go.
Yep,
There you go. Tell us about your new book.
Well, it's called Aliens from Planet X. Basically, I've been studying Planet X for 20 years and aliens for about 10 years. And Planet X is what scientists call a rogue planet. And it seems like, predictive programming, they tend to leak out things that they're preparing us for, some of, or most of which seem to be lies, but to make it seem more believable. Like lately, they've been saying, a solar storm may bring the grid down. And the CIA, whoever runs the country, they are concerned about alternative media, and they can mislead alternative media. So one of the leading alternative media people is Tucker Carlson, and then they somehow put a carrot in front of him a little bit and have a guest on a show that's talking about the grid going down. And what that means would be the internet would go down. And they're saying, well, the internet would come down from a solar storm. And 6 months ago, it was the internet could come down from a cyber attack, from Russia or China. If anyone takes down the internet, I believe it'll be the CIA. And they're going to blame a solar storm. They're going to blame Russia.
Wow.
But some event is probably coming where they need to control the narrative completely. And so if they have an excuse for taking down the internet, then people will be, forced, as it were, to go to their TV station. And we know we can't believe what they say because they say Oswald killed Kennedy, right? When the opposite is true. And so apparently the government has been releasing these things about rogue planets starting about maybe 6-7 years ago. They say more rogue planets are being discovered. A rogue planet is a spherical heavenly body that instead of orbiting a star, just kind of free floats through the universe like a shotgun blast. Maybe it at one point used to be part of a solar system, but was kicked out or something like that. So they say there's at least 2, possibly 4 rogue planets for every solar system. And so that means our solar system would have 1 to 4 rogue planets associated with it that may have a comet-like orbit. So when this planet was kind of floating by, maybe the gravitational field of our solar system grabbed it, but made it a comet-like elliptical orbit, so it only comes by the Earth every few hundred years or 1,000 years, we don't know. With the sun being 1,000,000 times bigger than the Earth, it could come by, and odds are it would be on the other side of the sun at least half the time, so we wouldn't even know that it was there. One of the most fascinating things about geological history is that prior to the year 705 BC, every advanced civilization on Earth that had good astronomers, like the Hebrews and the Mayans and the Sumerians and the Chinese, they all had the Earth's year at 360 days, not 365. That's why originally there are 360 degrees on a compass, because the Earth had at one point, 360 days. And then around 705 BC, something happened. It changed. And it looks like a rogue planet about 7 times bigger than the Earth came by the Earth in 705 BC. And it pulled the Earth ever so slightly further away from the sun, which means it had an increased distance, which means it took an extra 5.25 days to go around. Because immediately after that point in time, all the civilizations updated their calendars and changed it to a 365-day year. Now, if you believe in God, if every month had 30 days, and that's what a 360-year period was like prior to 705 BC, every month had 30 days, 30 tribes of Israel, 30 day months. So if our calendar had 12 months and each one was exactly 30 days, it would be hard to argue against divine creation, wouldn't it? Because that couldn't happen by coincidence, could it? That's design. So in a way, whatever happened in 705 BC destroyed the testimony of divine creation. Now, the world's most powerful telescope is called the Lucifer telescope for some strange reason. And stranger still, it's run by a church, the largest church in the world, the Church of Rome, and their intelligence division, known as the Jesuits, are the ones who run that telescope in Arizona. One of their members on his deathbed said that they're tracking an object that will play a significant part in world history in the near future. I believe they're tracking a rogue planet, which they have nicknamed Planet Lucifer. So if Planet Lucifer came by the Earth in 705 BC, it was Planet Lucifer that destroyed the testimony of divine creation. You see, it destroyed the fact that every month had exactly 30 days, which no one could argue was an accident, right? That means, some higher power made the solar system, which means there's a God. And I believe this planet is a dead world. There's no life on it because it doesn't have a star. It would be just 1 or 2 degrees above absolute zero, which is like minus 450 degrees Fahrenheit or something like that, 273 Celsius. And however, seeing how our world leaders are a bunch of liars, if this planet comes by the Earth in the near future, they could claim that aliens are suddenly appearing because they use it as a spacecraft. And when it's near the Earth, that's when they come and visit us. Now, the top 2 UFO researchers, one Frenchman, one American, after 4 decades of research, both concluded the very same thing, independent of one another, that UFOs are real, but they're not from outer space. They're from Earth, and that they're demonic. So von Braun, the Nazi who faked the moon landings, and if you don't know about that, go to Sibrel.com. There's a book about that. I read it myself in audio, and it's Kindle and print, and it has 17 interactive video links that you can see at Sibrel.com for free that prove that they really did fake the moon landing. Well, that same person, that Nazi, said before he died that the government in the years ahead was going to fake an alien invasion.
Yeah,
So
that was his co-worker too, Carol.
that's right.
Carol came out. I've put that in videos too. She came out and said the last card is going to be this fake alien invasion to bring about
right.
this new world order, basically.
That's right.
And
So
by
Planet
card-
X,
By card, you mean
Go ahead.
Illuminati card?
Basically, yeah.
yeah. Now there's a guy going around, and I'm going to just give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he's sincere. He calls himself Stephen Greer, and he says, UFOs are real, aliens are real, even though he's never seen one himself. And get this, his number one proof that aliens are real is that the Apollo astronauts told him so. You see that? So the last time I was in a hotel doing one of these, interviews that I do from time to time, I'm flipping through HBO, seeing, what free movies have I got, right? And I'm sure putting a good room service bill on there too. And anyway, I remember there were 10 movies, okay? 3 of the 10 were about aliens from outer space. Now, if 3 of the 10 movies were about what a great guy Joe Biden is, or 3 of the 10 movies were about how terrible a president he is, you would know there's a propaganda campaign, right? They want us to believe in aliens. The guys who spent their whole lives lying and saying they walked on the moon when they didn't, they're the ones who want us to also believe in aliens. In fact, my book, as you know from our last interview, we have an eyewitness who saw them film the fake moon landing at Cannon Air Force Base in 1968.
Wow.
He even confessed to murdering a coworker to cover it up. Well, he was the chief of security at the United States Air Force's intelligence headquarters, which was Cannon Air Force Base. And he, as the chief of security, met with President Johnson, who gave him a list of 15 names of people who were allowed in to observe the filming of Apollo 11 on a fake moon set that they had spent weeks building. He kept that list as a souvenir. I got the list. I published those names in the book. Now, half of them or more I had heard of, like Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin. They were there to observe. They weren't even in the spacesuits. After all, their faces were covered with a visor. And von Braun was there. The Nazi was there. James Van Allen, who said originally the Van Allen radiation belts are deadly, later said, oh, no, they're perfectly fine, you know. And then there was a name on there I'd never heard of, Robert Emenaker. I'm like, who's that guy? I look him up. He was a science fiction writer and consultant there to make sure the moon sets looked real. And he later went on multiple TV shows and kept saying the moon landings are real and aliens are real. So he was a government operative trying to propagate lies of the federal government. Now, if you believe in God, then Luke chapter 4 says when Jesus was down and worship him, that he'll give Jesus the kingdoms of the world because they belong to Lucifer, and he can give them to whoever he wants. So,
hey, Bart, could you repeat that one more time? Because it got a little glitch.
Yeah, Luke chapter 4, almost every Bible has the heading of the temptation of Jesus. Lucifer was tempting Jesus and said to Jesus if he would bow down and worship Lucifer, that his reward would be that Jesus would be given the kingdoms of the world, meaning the nations. And Lucifer goes on to say that they are his property and he can give them to whoever he wants. This is why our world leaders are liars. They promise they won't do this if they become president, and they do it. Or they promise they will do this, and when they're president, they don't. You see? So the kingdoms of this world belong to liars, and including the United States of America, who, according to the dead man's own relatives, killed their own President Kennedy. And according to the former defense secretary, completely made up the reason why the Vietnam War began, which killed 58,000 of their own people. So if they're killing their own president, killing their own soldiers, I don't think they're going to have a problem faking a video image of the moon, are they? And these people are apparently planning a fake alien invasion. And the faking of the moon landing is very spiritually symbolic. The film, A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon, which was financed by someone who builds rockets for NASA, who knows it's fake. We open up with the Tower of Babel, which was built simply to show off the tallest building, never finished, right? And then we show the Titanic, the largest machine built at the technological age that they put in print, the ship that God himself cannot sink. Never finished, never made one voyage. And then Tricky Dick Nixon, when he knew they were not on the moon, said putting a man on the moon is second in greatness only to God making the universe. So the faking of the moon landing being mankind's greatest boast by the most powerful nation on earth, being a fraud in the world run by Lucifer, who's the father of lies, you see, all that falls into place and makes spiritual sense. And if we are in the last days, which I believe we are, then Lucifer is going to want to basically fake Jesus. You see, there's a counterfeit worship. It says in, I think, Isaiah 14 that Lucifer wanted to become God. And they did a study about 20 years ago of DNA of all nationalities, Swedes and Africans and Asians. And with new DNA technology, they can go backwards in time. And they said all humans who ever lived, alive today, or will ever live came from one woman in Africa. And there's no one before her, no evolution. She just popped in, just like the Bible says. Of course, the scientists want to believe that things made themselves, don't want to believe in God, so they have a problem. Okay, the science is starting to prove the Bible true. How can we dodge this bullet? So they came up with this fantasy that, okay, it's true. All humans came from one woman in Africa, just like the Bible says, but no God. We were made by aliens. So, right. Now, if I were a third grader, I would ask them, well, if we were made by aliens, then who made the aliens? You see? And it still shows a God in there somewhere. And so get this TV program called Ancient Aliens, which I thought was just a one-time TV special, apparently has been going on for years and years and years. And they propagate this lie that intellectuals are buying, that we were made by aliens. Now get this. If aliens are really fallen angels, because after all, the top 2 UFO researchers said they were from Earth and demonic, and they're liars, right? And if Lucifer is really the leader of the fallen angels, which they're pretending to be aliens, what they're really saying is that mankind was made by Lucifer instead of God. That's actually what they're saying. And if you go to Sibrel.com and look at some of the links for the new Alien book, we show the logo, and you can bring it up there if you want to, Vinny, and do a share screen. Go to Google, type in World Economic Forum logo images, or go to, bring up the clip somewhere in the book. This is the bunch of billion, right? They could spend $1 billion making a logo if they want. And there's world on one line, economic on the other, and forum on the other. They all three have a letter O in them, and they're a little offset. Then they have a half circle going through all 3 O's that make 666. Google's logo, 666. CERN.
Bart, I wanted to add into the stuff you were saying the other day. I feel it was so important. And you're talking about the spiritual battle, and for people who believe in God, and then you have, let's just be honest, science, which is a religion at this point, and they're there for the people who don't believe in God, and their #1 achievement for science, like you said, Bart, is going to the moon. That's the thing they say all the time. We put a man on the moon. Science, it's one of these things, like one of their big pillars of science, and Bart has fully exposed it. Anybody just got to go to bartsibrel.com. But the way you said that, Bart, it's a spiritual battle, and I think that's really important to touch on, how this is basically like science, a religion, and this is one of their biggest beliefs that you're poking a hole in.
Yeah, and you mentioned something earlier that I don't think we talked about in our last podcast, because it only happened about 6 months ago. So if the God of science is putting a man on the moon, their Messiah has to be AI. So get this, I'm a filmmaker. And every year they have called the NAB, National Association of Broadcasters, where you can see the latest cameras and so forth before they even hit the market. Automobile conventions, video camera conventions, and they had an AI convention, happened to be held in Moscow, where they brought in, not available on the market, but they wanted to show off Google's neural network. It's multiple AIs hooked up together to form a super brain. Now, all this technology over the years was probably billions of dollars and decades of research. And you were allowed to play with it for a few days. One team had it write a symphony, another team had it write a novel. One team fed it pictures from the moon surface from the unmanned Chinese probes, and it said the pictures are real. It has a deep fake detector program that's never been wrong. You can feed it a video of Biden or Trump, and in less than a second, it'll tell you whether it's real or not. So it said these pictures of the lunar surface from the unmanned Chinese probes, they're real. Then they fed it pictures from Apollo missions, Nixon administration. It said every picture was fake. Every one. They showed it. Fake background, fake foreground, fake this and that.
Wow.
So either this multi-billion-dollar investment, decades of research of the AI is a piece of junk, or they didn't go to the moon. How about that? So some open-minded intellectuals are realizing the AI can't be wrong. Maybe they did fake the moon landing. And many in the UFO community who would love to believe the fantasy of the League of Planets, like in Star Trek, know from logic and geometry that you can't have shadows intersecting at 90 degrees in sunlight. So the pictures, for some reason, that they claim are on the moon are fake. Now, they want to believe they went to the moon anyway. So they throw in, whether they're communing with aliens or secret crews. They don't care why you believe the moon landings are real as long as you do. If you want to season it with aliens, feel free. It's just like this thing that for the last 3 years. There are two lies. One lie for the general public. This little, illness came from an animal. And then another lie for the awake alternative media. Okay, I'm going to let you in on a secret, okay? Not from an animal, it's from a medical facility. Both are lies, in my opinion. They wouldn't have to fake fatalities if it were real, and they wouldn't have to contrive a test that their own inventor said would give you false positives 95% of the time. So I think both are lies. One for the general public and one for the alternative media. That way you got everybody believing the lie, you see? And so they have the lie for some people. Hey, they just didn't go. Then they have a lie for the, alternative media people. Okay, yeah, the pictures are fake, but they really win anyway. No, the pictures are fake because they didn't go. We have Apollo 11 faking being halfway to the moon from Earth orbit. They can't leave Earth orbit. Elon Musk said to go to the moon, you're going to have to make at least 8 fuel trips first. They went in one rocket. How is that possible? When things become more efficient over time, it should take less fuel to go to the moon today than back then, right? And yet it's going to take more fuel.
Yes.
So people need to wake up and smell the manure.
That was incredible. Yeah. Man, oh man. Dang. That's a lot.
To add a little more, Bart, I think it's important for this audience and for you, Razul, is with the China, the thing you talked about, because China has their space program. And these countries have to know, they know
what
that.
What did I say? I don't remember what I said.
No, I just like picking on you, buddy. You know I like messing with you.
Well, he said, since you want to say it like that, he
let him
just
finish
said,
though.
Okay. With China, how China has their space program, and you're saying how they basically are blackmailing NASA because these other programs, they know that America lied, but they're still keeping it a secret. So if you could touch on that a little.
Yeah, I just uploaded a video, I think yesterday, that is an interview I did with someone who works for the Chinese Space Agency. And he said everybody there knows the moon missions are fake and that they're blackmailing NASA. They have an agreement to receive illegal space technology, which is illegal for the United States or any employee thereof to give to China, that they're giving it to them anyway. The CIA is breaking their own laws, giving China space technology that they are using in exchange for not blowing the whistle on the fact that the moon missions were falsified, which would be a great embarrassment to the United States of America. I mean, just imagine if the truth came out, if an astronaut confessed and every major network was forced to cover it. What would happen to the reputation of the glorious United States of America, right? What would happen to the stock market or the dollar, right? Maybe those things would crash. And then the reputation, right, of the country. They're a bunch of liars, right? Well, they are a bunch of liars. And the sooner our own people know about it, the better. I mean, you don't want your next door neighbor to be an unknown child molester, right? Babysitting the neighborhood's kids. You would want to know, wouldn't you? And if our government is killing their own president, faking the beginning of wars, faking moon landings, and who knows what else, I think it's important to know about it because people in their club admit that they want to lower the population by 94%, which means if you have a room of 34 people, they want to get rid of 32 of them. Fortunately, me and Killah are those 2 people. I'm sorry for the rest of you. might want to buy a submarine.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, it's not too far-fetched, but they do be lying, man. I know that it's whatever they've been telling us, it wasn't the truth. And I already know that. I know that, so I'm right on point. I'm right with you on that part, and it's very interesting. A lot of points you made is like, man, I got to look deeper into this. We be surfing too much. And it ties in with this with what's going on with the last days and all of that you spoke on. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it is a culmination of a lot of things. I mean, the Tower of Babel, Jesus said that if you start a tower and you're not able to finish it, you're basically proclaiming to the world that you're a fool. Because I don't know, in Nashville, there was this big hole in the ground. I mean, they built really deep underground parking, and they had a banner around the fence showing the glorious, skyscraper and shopping center. And it sat there for like 15 years. Well, something happened. And that rebuke of the Tower of Babel was known to the world. I mean, right after they put the ship that God himself couldn't sink, that rebuke was known to the world. This one has been delayed. And as Romans 8:28 says, all things work for the good of those who love and serve the Lord. This delay of knowing the truth must have a purpose. Now, here's a little, analogy. Imagine there's a couple madly in love, and they get married, and a few weeks into the marriage, one of them goes to a convention, gets insanely drunk, and has an affair. Then afterwards, they could come home and say, look, this happened. I'm sorry. You can divorce me. That's your right. I just don't want to live a lie. That's one possibility. Or imagine that instead, on their 50th anniversary, as old people, after a lifelong reputation of being an honorable person and an elder in a church, they said, oh, by the way, hon, back when we were first married, I cheated on you. You see, the impact of saying that later, I think, is greater. And after I did Joe Rogan, I mean, all these videos are coming out to defend the moon landing.
Wow.
I mean, one, I noticed the guy had 61,000 subscribers and somehow it gets 200,000 views in 3 days. So
wow.
YouTube is promoting this defense of the moon landing fraud. If the moon landings are real,
right,
then anyone who says otherwise is an idiot. So why are there hundreds, if not thousands, of videos to defend the obvious moon landings? Unless it's really not that obvious, unless it's made out of straw and needs to be supported. I mean, if I went around saying Mickey Mouse is the first president of the United States, not George Washington, do you really think there'd be 1,000 videos reassuring the people
right.
that no, it was George Washington. Don't listen to him. If they really went to the moon, they wouldn't care. I got an email this morning. I couldn't even read more than a couple of sentences without throwing up, so I deleted it. But some guy who says, well, I'm in aerospace and I know what I'm talking about. I'm sure he wasn't even alive when they walked on the moon or claimed to have done it.
Right.
And he says, no, you're wrong about this. And, just, pages and pages and pages.
Mm-hmm.
Why does he care? Why does he care if I'm some fool going around saying we didn't go to the moon? You see, he's emotional. I've offended his God. And the fact that he had this emotional response is proof that I'm right. Because if they really went, why bother? The fact that I'm pricking his pride is proof that he is blinded by his pride. All of these defenses that I'm wrong wouldn't be necessary if they really went, and I wasn't pushing people's pride buttons, which means in pride, according to Obadiah, it says pride blinds you from seeing the truth. So if all of these videos are made by pride, which they are, it means
about them faking the moon landing.
It's a movie?
But their spin, what is it?
This is a film coming out?
Yeah, it's a big Hollywood film coming out. called "Fly Me to the Moon." I believe it's going to be. It's called.
I think I heard of that, yo. I think I heard of it.
Yeah, the trailer came out already. So, just wanted to throw that in there too, Bart. I heard you talk about some in the past and that the one coming out in the future. That's the
Yeah,
one.
I mean, we don't know much about it other than from the trailer, it says they are filming the fake moon landing as a backup. They may end up claiming that we did that, but we still went anyway. Trust me,
That's
if
what
you
I
really
think
went
they
to
do.
the moon, if you really went to the moon, you would never fake any of it, because then that could come back to bite you and people would doubt your authenticity. So if they really went, they would never dare fake any of it. And we already have them faking being halfway to the moon from Earth orbit, dated 2 days into the flight, and a third track of audio of the CIA telling them to fake a 4-second radio delay to make it look like they're beyond Earth orbit. So I think, there's some videos coming out recently that did geometry study of the photographs and the landings and all that. And they said, we can prove mathematically this is a set, that this is electrical lighting. So maybe they have to answer that by saying, okay, we did fake it as a backup, but we really went, and somehow the fake footage got mixed up with the real. We're sorry. That could be what they're saying. And I'm wondering if that's what they're going to claim, you see. And after I did Joe Rogan, all these videos are coming out to reassure people. And even if both prove the moon landings are fake, we will still say that they're real at the end of the program. We just want you to know that.
Of course.
And then I watched the program, and they found a quote from a Russian scientist in 1969 who said, congratulations. And they said, see, that proves that the Russians believe we went to the moon. They didn't mention the quote from 6 weeks ago where the Russian director of the space agency said it was fake. You see? So the idea that Fox News is anti-corruption is a big lie. So is RT, because when the AI showed that the moon missions were fake, I have a video, go to Sibrel.com, of Vladimir Putin being there, being shown that the AI just said the moon missions are fake. Doesn't look surprised at all. In fact, he looks scared that if the truth comes out, they're going to pull some of his skeletons out of the closet. And RT, which is supposed to be anti-American, never covered the story, never covers the story that their president was there being shown that the Americans lied about the moon landing. They don't cover it either, you see? So Fox News and RT that claim to be, anti-federal government, they're not. They're running propaganda for the federal government. This film could be about that. I don't know. I have this suspicion, seeing how they were vague, and the part that they showed said, well, we're doing it as a backup, that they're going to somehow claim that they went anyway. Trust me. They faked the pictures because they weren't there. It's pretty simple, right? And if you really went, you wouldn't dare fake any of it, because then you would later be accused of faking the whole thing, which they would never do if they were genuine.
Tell them about Stanley Kubrick.
Well, he's been, you could say, accused of sorts of participating in faking the moon landing photography. Now, they did fake it, and they probably had to have somebody in charge of the fake photography. So they could have hired maybe the general of the Pentagon of the media department. They would have had great security, but amateur results. Or they could have hired the best filmmaker on the planet, who in 1968 was making a film about going to the moon. And so that's who I would have chosen. They had to get convincing pictures. If they didn't get that, they're sunk. So they had to hire the best filmmaker. It was Stanley Kubrick. And he was seen in pictures with staff from NASA around that time. And in some of his later films, he leaves insignias of literally Apollo 11 on camera, on a T-shirt or whatever, seemed to hinting at he had something to do with it. That's who I would have chosen. And so he probably did. There it is. There's him with, senior NASA administrator, Arthur C. Clarke,
Wow.
NASA astronaut, and there he is. And then a few years later, NASA gave him a newly patented lens that could photograph under candlelight. And he was the first filmmaker to get that lens. The guy who faked the moon landing. What a coincidence. And then the little red rum boy in The Shining has on an Apollo 11 handmade shirt. And there have been a few documentaries pointing out the symbolism in The Shining that has to do with the Apollo mission. Some of it is a reach, but some of it is right on the money. So even if a third of that symbolism is true, kind of creepy. And that's the type of guy he was. He would leave all these Masonic or whatever weird clues in all of his movie. Even his last film, which is called Eyes Wide Shut. Well, what does that mean, Eyes Wide Shut? You can look at the most famous picture of an astronaut on the surface of the moon, and there's so many clues in the picture that it's fake, including all the wrinkles and a spacesuit that's supposed to be pressurized. It's not even pressurized. You can see it right there. And yet somehow you still think he's on the moon anyway. Your eyes are wide shut. Well, he insisted contractually that film, his last film, open on a particular day. The movie studio was like, what day does it matter to you? Well, he said, I'm not going to sign the contract unless you agree to open the film on July 16th, 1999, the 30th anniversary of the launch to the moon.
Wow.
Yes, Dave.
That's crazy.
And, and then he mysteriously passed.
Well, there were suspicious circumstances regarding his death, and including remarks by his widow, who I spoke to, and a pretty good little interview we had over the phone. And yeah, she's probably just trying to protect her family and make sure more people aren't knocked off. And maybe he's not even dead. Who knows? When I found this list of 15 people who were eyewitnesses of the fake moon landing given to me by the chief of security at that Air Force base, I called a couple of people on the list, and one of them was Eugene Krantz. I think he was in that picture. And I think he thought I was some tech support person. Apparently, these guys have these military-grade scrambled video conferencing equipment in their house. And so I call him up, and he answers the phone and says, hey, is this tech support about the satellite conversation I have scheduled with Cernan? Well, that has to be Eugene Cernan, Apollo astronaut talking to the Apollo flight director in their retirement, except at that moment in time, Eugene Cernan supposedly died a couple of years earlier.
Wow.
So Eugene Krantz is still having video conferencing calls on satellite scrambled conversations with them. So maybe Cernan didn't die. A lot of these guys died before the pressure of the 50th anniversary being scrutinized and didn't want to deal with all the did you really go type of questions. So we don't know. Who knows? But they, probably knocked him off because he knew about it. And the Apollo astronauts are in danger. They know everything. And so maybe one of them might have a deathbed confession, or, so I would be concerned for their safety of being knocked off.
It's funny that you never see interviews from these guys. They're never on talk show.
Well, it's rare.
Yeah, rare.
It's rare. After the Russian space director said publicly that the moon missions were fake, and Fox News scrambled to make a documentary, which they told me in advance was simply to reassure people that the moon missions are real, even if they didn't go, they were going to say they went anyway. They said that. They had one Apollo astronaut go on Glenn Beck around that time to reassure people. Glenn Beck's audience, I presume, is known to be a Christian audience. And they had on the one and only Apollo astronaut who has the audacity to claim that he's a Christian. So therefore, you must believe what he has to say. I mean, come on. That's pretty sad.
Yeah.
But that's between him and God. All have fallen short of the glory of God, including myself. And so I've lied and stolen and cheated myself. So, I just repent of such things every day of my life and have to be faithful to the end. Jesus warned the church that most believers will fall away. He says so in Matthew 24:12 and 13, and that only those who hold to the very end with a repentant life will make it into heaven. It says multiple times, including the last chapter to Revelation. Outside are the sexually immoral and the liars and the murderers and the cowardly, top of the list. People who make decisions based on fear. Fear, you see, the reason why I call Buzz Aldrin a coward is because he's afraid to look bad. He's afraid to be embarrassed. He's afraid to have his vanity exposed as a liar. He is a coward. He's afraid to tell the truth. You see?
Who got into a fist fight? Didn't
Well, no one got in a fight, but when I asked Buzz Aldrin to swear on the Bible and called him a liar, he punched me.
Right, it was you. Yeah, that's right.
One of those things. But
Why did he punch you?
Because I called him a liar, coward, and a thief when he refused to swear on the Bible that he walked on the moon. This is my follow-up film called Astronauts Gone Wild, where we have a recording of an Apollo astronaut on a hot mic in his house talking about calling the CIA to have me killed with the sun. And we have...
You listen. Don't be trying to convince me. I'm just asking the brother questions.
You just gotta watch it. I mean, you just gotta watch it, and that's it. It's over.
Astronauts Going Wild. I'm going to wild. I like that title. I like the title.
Yeah, just go to Sibrel.com and click on the button Moon Man video links, and it's probably one of the first few in there. After we made the movie, a funny thing happened on the way to the moon, which shows the footage that we didn't go to the moon. I had the idea, I guess, just from watching childhood courtroom TV dramas, would you swear to tell the truth? So I thought, hey, let's track down these Apollo astronauts, put a Bible in front of them, and see if they'll swear to God that they walked on the moon. And very few of them did it. I think a couple of atheists agreed to do it. That showcases the picture of the shadows intersecting at 90 degrees. That's a funny thing happened on the way to the moon. And the other one is the testimony of the deathbed confession. And all these films, if you go a little bit higher, the Moon Man book links button is there. And there are 17 links of the book. The other one, a little bit to the left, there you go, Moon Man video links. And one of these is the film Astronauts Gone Wild. And these back up all the things that I'm saying in the book, including NASA-owned employees saying that the technology to go to the moon has not been invented yet.
I'm kind of curious though. Why use the Bible?
Check it. What's the name?
Because what if one of those guys actually lied to you and put their hand on there and swear and said, yeah,
they did. I mean, the two people who admitted that they're atheists did it. And
you shouldn't ask those guys. They don't believe in God. They don't believe.
That's right. So they're the ones who did it. The ones who told me they did believe in God, they did not do it. Neil Armstrong says he believes in God. He would not swear on the Bible. There he is right there. Yeah. And then Buzz Aldrin told me
I think I've seen this though.
Yeah. This went viral for a little bit.
Yeah, I seen that, yo. Right.
Yeah, that's me showing him the fake footage.
That was viral.
Yeah.
Where he gets up.
So, pissed him off though.
Have access.
Yeah, I mean,
he was mad.
Serendipity.
Yeah, I mean,
look at his face.
Maybe my methodology wasn't the best.
It was recorded
doing my
on the 18th
at the time,
of what?
And
of July,
we have it as an historical record that they were given the opportunity to come clean and did not. This is me showing Buzz Aldrin the fake footage,
right? Which
he kind of admits twice. Proves they didn't go to the moon. He says, well, we're just passengers. Talk to the NASA administrator. Well, passengers mean they didn't pilot the vehicle to the surface. They just orbited the Earth for 8 days, you see? And then he said, and this makes you a famous person for having discovered this. This is the footage of the fake Earth. That's actually a circular window with part of the Earth outside of it. They're claiming that's the Earth floating in space. You see that?
Yep.
When in fact, that's the walls of the spacecraft around a circular window that is part of the Earth outside of it. the lights come up and you see that it's the Earth, meaning they're faking being halfway to the moon. They're faking the Earth floating in space. You can show that part where the lights come up and you see it's the window. So we have them faking being halfway to the moon, and that's it right there. They claim for the part they showed to the public that that's the Earth floating in space.
Right.
But you'll see here we have the unedited version, and it said at the beginning, don't show to the public, because this is them breaking down the shot. They're about to remove some special effect they have in front of the window here in just a second. You'll see that they are breaking it down. They even put a little crescent piece of material into the window to make it look like the Terminator line. There they are, messing around in front of the window. So, it does look like the Earth floating in space if you don't have the unedited version that we have, which shows that they're faking it. They're faking being halfway to the moon, and there's the window with the bright Earth outside of it. So, that proves they didn't go to the moon. Two NBC news directors agreed it proved they didn't go to the moon. That's what convinced me. That's what convinces most people. Even my greatest critic says, well, yes, they are faking being halfway to the moon. Okay, well, why would they do that if they really went? You see? And so there you go. It is what it is. They did fake the moon landing. It's not a theory. It's a fact. And an astronaut's gone wild. I confront them with the footage.
Is that you?
One of them,
Yes, that's
Yeah.
yeah, that's me there.
With the hair?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm sure Killah used to have hair, didn't you?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Probably
That's
down to here.
Exactly.
Right?
That was you
And that's
interviewing him, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's the talk of the CIA telling them to only speak after 4 seconds go by, because they're
Wow.
creating a fake radio delay, because they're supposed to be halfway to the moon where the radio signal would, take more time to go out and come back. So we have the third track of audio of the CIA.
Right.
And so they're faking being halfway to the moon right in front of your eyes. It was 3.5 years into that 7-year filmmaking that I realized, oh my gosh, they really did fake the moon landing. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I had major problems. I had proof in my house, a classified reel of footage of them faking being halfway to the moon. I freaked out. I'm like, oh my gosh, what have I done? And later that night, I'm followed from church.
Oh.
Because I called up Bill Casey, my source at NASA, said, you're not going to believe what I found today. I found proof they didn't go to the moon. The phone call is interrupted by this screech, so where we can't hear one another. I go to church, get advice from the elders. What do? They say, drive like a bat out of hell to CNN. I leave church late at night. A business that had been closed for 2 or 3 hours, as I drive by, has a van backed into it to immediately pull out when I go by. I'm like, oh, that guy was waiting for me. So I pull over to the side of the road and I say, I'm not going anywhere until this guy's in front of me. I got all day. And after a minute, he's like, well, I guess he figured it out. So he passes me. So I follow him, know the enemy. He gets on the ramp on the parkway going to town. I get on the ramp. I pull up alongside of him. I'm like, I want to see who this guy is. He looked at me and I looked at him, and my car dies. Everything on my car just shuts off at that moment. And I'm literally on foot being chased by him and 2 other people in the middle of the night after I find the footage a few hours earlier. And I hire a cab to drive me to CNN. And in the morning, when I'm behind on the back alley trying to get the tape to a friend and through the back door, I'm surrounded by government agents who drug me with truth serum to the point of vomiting. And I escape their custody, make my way back to Nashville, and I pee in a cup. I say, I got him. I'm going to prove to the news director that I was drugged by this exotic truth serum that only the government would have access to. So I give it to a friend to put in a lab in his name, trying to outwit the CIA. And I call back, or I meet with him, I think, to get the results. And I'm like, well, what are the results? Let's see the lab report. I know I was drugged by something that only the CIA is going to have. And they said, well, there was a problem at the lab. I'm like, well, what problem? They said, well, there was a break-in over the weekend. I'm like, well, so what? It says, well, funny thing, the only thing stolen was your urine sample. So the people at the lab are like, we don't know who you are, but take your business elsewhere, please. So my book goes into detail about this in a chapter called "A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to CNN" and "A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to Church," where I was literally harassed by government agents who wanted to see this footage before it was broadcast. And I even go into detail how an apparent two good guy government agents kind of rescued me from the bad guys. And so apparently there's like a civil war under the radar, I guess by mutual agreement, of people, fighting spy against spy, and they're both Americans. And this is going on. 9/11 was done by Americans. So Americans have access to these, satellites and fighter aircraft and who knows what else that evil people in the government are using. But it's the Constitution say when people swear to uphold it, to protect it against all enemies, foreign and domestic. It was an American who killed Kennedy. It was an American who faked the beginning of the Vietnam War. It was an American who faked the moon landing. It was an American who did 9/11, and it's a bunch of Americans and other, who knows what, who did this little thing for the last 3 years. So our traitors aren't China and Russia. They got their own problems. Do you really think China or Russia wants to invade America? Give me a break. The Pentagon would like people to think that so they can, buy more, military aircraft and milk the profits thereof. But they got their own problems. The greatest traitors to America are Americans, and they're in high offices in the federal government.
Hey, Bart,
that's heavy, man. Go ahead.
Since you're talking about the films, the two films you made, did I hear you say recently that you're possibly working on a new film with someone in Hollywood?
Well, yeah, there's an
Maybe
actor.
a $5 million budget or something, and you're trying to make a new film. Can you touch on that?
Yeah, I'm trying to make a movie. Ron Perlman, who played Hellboy, and what was that? Aliens Resurrection. He was in Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, he was Sons of Anarchy and everything.
He read a screenplay I wrote. He says it's one of the best he's ever read in 50 years, and wants to produce it and star in it if he can raise $5 million. So we'll see if that happens. It's loosely based on the eyewitness of the moon landing fraud, though it's not about the moon landing fraud. It's about a military hitman who is dying, who confesses that he was a murderer and tries to make things right with his family before he dies. It's a what I call a spiritual fantasy about someone trying to become a good person who's had a hard time being a compassionate person most of his life, and knowing that he's dying, he's starting to have a spiritual awakening about that. And that's what the film is about. It's called Silence in Heaven, and Ron Perlman wants to star in it and produce it if he can raise $5 million. So that's pretty low in Hollywood standards, where I think the average film now is about 75 million. But there's a lot of opportunity to make money. If Netflix wants to write us a check for 20 million for the exclusive rights, we would make 400% profit in one day. So who knows whether the film will ever be made? But if you know of any millionaires who want to be an executive producer, let me know.
I know. Well, they kind of open now.
I know one.
Yeah, exactly, right? AD said he got you. All right. Go ahead.
No, I know a guy that works with Alex Jones. He did the Cannabis Destiny. Before, he's like an executive producer, but he's definitely somebody who you might already know him. But I'll talk to him. I'll talk to you about that later.
Yeah, I did InfoWars while I was in Austin doing Joe Rogan's show. I did one of their shows called The American Journal with Harrison Smith. And so, yeah, feel free to have him email me if he wants to make a movie.
His name is Kevin Booth. You ever heard of Kevin Booth?
No.
He did American Drug War, How Weed Won the West, a lot of controversial films.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's what I'm thinking of, because he's already in that niche.
What's that? And I think America is ready to hear something like this or see something like this.
It's so controversial, and it's scary because you're dealing with like the Matrix directly. You know what I mean? That's putting yourself in a position of Matrix agents immediately because
Well, we would be chased down a block.
there's hidden organizations that work for organizations that are just there to protect information. It's literally info wars. That's kind of why Alex Jones called it that because it's a war going on. So
he's been
it's
getting
scary.
attacked too. Well, I didn't know they would really jump out the van and like try to really beat you down like that.
You talking about Alex Jones?
No, Bart Sibrel.
But yeah,
Right?
Bart.
Talking about
Yeah,
Bart.
yeah, Bart.
Oh,
Yeah,
Bart, there needs to be a movie about you.
yeah,
Like,
man. That was kinda-
there needs to be a movie about what happened to you.
I mean, you can put out independent.
Yeah, I mean,
flicks.
someone wants to buy the film rights to Moon Man and make me look like an idiot. Feel free for $1 million.
The question is
Hey,
it's all about
smart.
it's about
I'm trying to dig a well and I can't find a cheap price. Help me
Right.
pay for my
you can
deep
make
well.
movies all day and launch them on YouTube all day. The question is if you're going to get picked up by Netflix or a major distribution, like Paramount and stuff like that. That's the hard part because they have gatekeepers at their door that only allow certain things also,
Well, this film is not about the moon landing fraud. I just based the, character on a military hitman that I kind of got the idea from Cyrus Eugene Akers, who killed a coworker to cover up the moon landing fraud. The film is just about a murderer trying to make things right before he dies. It's kind of a spiritual fantasy. And I think, it's a worthwhile story. And Ron Perlman said it's one of the best screenplays he's ever read.
Oh, wow.
In fact, he said he never and once in 50 years called the screenwriter before finishing the script to tell him what a great film it was. He called me up, says, "This is unbelievable. I can't believe it's good. I hope it ends well." I said, "Yeah, let me know."
Wow.
You talked to Joe Rogan, right? You were on his
Well,
show.
I asked Joe Rogan to play Ron Perlman's son in the movie. He says he doesn't do acting anymore.
Yeah.
So surprisingly, he said he didn't really enjoy it. I only saw one thing he did, a show called News Radio, which I thought was super clever show. I just heard about it, but Joe Rogan's one of the cast members. I thought he did a great job.
But
And he's kind of the type to play physically Ron Perlman's son, but he's not interested. So
What about Terrence Howard?
I don't know who that is. Who is that?
He's an actor that he's kind of like, I don't want to use the word, but he's up now. He's like, he played in Power. No, what was it?
He just did Joe Rogan. He did Empire.
He just did
played-
Joe Rogan.
Oh,
He was the first one to play War Machine in Iron Man too.
Yeah.
And they replaced him with what's the other brother name?
Don Chino?
Don
John
Cheadle.
Cheetah. I like John Cheetah.
Yeah, Don
But he's on point. He would he's got this him and
he goes deep into
he goes deep.
quantum physics.
quantum physics. And I heard Joe Rogan say one time that he asked around and he was like, this guy's really a genius. So he's in the know that Hollywood with America is putting out these little secret things and these hidden things that you are uncovering. So he's a part of that uncovering now, and he's like a super smart genius. He's an actor that been in a couple, like Sue said, he's been on Iron Man too.
Yeah.
well, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm open to any brilliant actor to play the part of his son. It's an
Right.
important part,
Right.
and he looks like he could pull it off. So,
What's the name of the
I'll
comedian?
audition him.
All right. What's the name of the comedian? I'm trying to think of that's on it too.
Cat Williams.
Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Jim
Cat
Carrey.
Williams too. Yeah. Jim Carrey is definitely. It's like all these actors are like, some of them. I don't know if they still acting, but they're coming out of the
woodwork.
closet. Yeah, you can't say.
Jim
Yeah,
Carrey.
Jim Carrey's pretty
talk-
funny.
Yeah, he
One of
talks
the-
about raising the Christ and all that biologically and through
you go.
meditation, like the esoteric.
Yeah, he's definitely aware. I don't want to say woke because everybody
Yeah.
uses
No,
that.
he speaks on Kundalini and all that.
Yeah.
Actually,
Cat
Jim
Williams.
Carrey is a Christian now.
Mm.
Just for your, just to let you know, AD. After that whole thing with his wife dying,
Oh,
he went through a really hard time, and
Wow.
people should check out his funeral, where he talks about following Jesus
mm.
and Jesus's teaching.
Wow.
And Bart, I want to bring this up because listening to you, I think you're a great Christian who actually pushes the right message. I get into it a lot with Christians
I
where
was
I
going to
feel
say
like
that.
a
I
lot
hear a
of
message in
Christians
it.
are very judgmental, I feel like, which is not what we're supposed to be. Like you said, we're all sinners. Being Christian doesn't mean you're perfect and everyone who else you criticize and they're lower than you. That's not what a Christian is, and also a lot of Christians who are going to hate, a Donald Trump or whoever, Werner von Braun, whatever. You talk about it too. Jesus said, you don't hate the sinner, you hate the sin. We're not to hate. We, like you said, Bart, I mean, Jesus says we're to love our enemy. So we shouldn't be focusing on our hatred towards Donald Trump or Biden or anyone. This should be about love, and the way you do it, Bart, I feel like, you're an amazing Christian, and that's probably why you're being protected, and God has protected you. I just wanted to bring out the whole Christian aspect of it. I feel like you've represented great, Bart, by showing love and compassion for even the enemy, and that this is a spiritual battle. And thank you, Bart.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, no problem. I don't consider myself a good Christian. I consider myself hanging on by my fingernails in repentance. I was thinking
Me
just this
too, but
morning,
I
last
mean the
night.
whole thing with love, Bart. You're so full of love. You're not angry, you're not scared. And that's what the Bible says, right? God doesn't want us scared or angry. We're not supposed to be filled with hate or fear. And
Yeah, one of the to me, the test of a true Christian is forgiveness. I'm sure you know people who are mad at what someone said at Thanksgiving 25 years ago, like it happened yesterday. That's dangerous to call yourself a Christian and have that attitude. Jesus says, unless we forgive each other sins, our sins will not be forgiven. And he said, if you only love people who love you and hate people who hate you, that's no different than a pagan non-believer. He says you need to love your enemy. And if you can't do that, you're not his follower. And we know that the Muslims are bombing the Jews are bombing the Muslims, and the so-called Christian United States is bombing everybody else. So no one is really loving their enemy, are they?
Right.
And so that's where it really separates. That's what convinces me that Jesus is not of this earth, because he said, love your enemy. And it's actually quoting Proverbs. Proverbs says, when your enemy is hungry, feed him. When he is thirsty, give him something to drink. And in doing so, you'll produce shame for him mistreating you. And so that's key. And we need to love our enemy. If we can't do that, if we can't forgive, and the real reason is just remember your own sin, then it'll become pretty easy, right? All have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. There's no righteous person, not even one.
Yeah.
And I can't say, well, I only kill 2 people a week and he kills 20 people a week, so I'm more righteous than he is. No, not really. All sin separates you from God, 1 or 1,000,000, so it doesn't really matter. And, I remember I kind of talked to God in my mind, kind of, you could say, imaginary conversation sometime, but he always seems to respond with accuracy, truth, and wisdom that I would never have myself. And one time, many years ago, I was having trouble giving up drinking, just can't, I throw it away and buy it again and throw it away and buy it again and throw it away and buy it again. And I'm like, God, why do you put up with me? I mean, I would have smited me a long time ago.
What was it, the
And he
mezcal?
said back, I don't know what it was. But in any case,
yeah, go ahead.
he said, because you never give up. That saying, like, fall off a horse, get back on. He says, because you never give up. And yeah, that is me. I hate to lose. I hate to lose against my own goals. And if my goal is to stop drinking or smoking or whatever, I will keep at it. If I have to throw it away 200 times, I will do it to get to that one where it is the last time. That's all that God wants from us. And Jesus said he came to the lost sheep of Israel, not to the lost pagan world, which means that everything that he said was to the church. And he said, wide is the gate, broad is the road to destruction, and most people go that way. Narrow is the way to life, and only a few find it. He said, the love of most will grow cold because sin will become so commonplace and be considered good. But only he who holds to the end, meaning in repentance, will be saved. And there's all those parables about the banquet hall of heaven being, full of chairs that are mostly empty. He said, go out into the alleyways and find both the good and the bad and bring them in. God, if I make it into heaven, it'll be because God pities me and I will take it. I will be glad to have God's pity. And all we have to do is to do our best to renounce sin. Everybody has some cost, some last sin that for them is difficult to give up. Could be smoking for one person, drinking for another, immorality for another, but it's always giving up something. We prove that we love God by giving up our sin. It says this is love for God, to obey the commandments. Jesus says, why do you call me Lord and not do what I say? You see, everyone has free will, and yet there's a separation between the wide and the narrow. We can't enter heaven because of our repentance, but we also cannot enter heaven without it. Otherwise, the whole world would be saved, and he warned that that's not the case. God is a parent who's going to give us what we want. If a child is curious about, hey, maybe it's cool to smoke cigarettes, maybe a father will say, here's a carton, give it a try, to the point of them throwing up and wising up. And so if you love the world, God will probably give it to you, and you won't be on the other side in eternal life. And if you love righteousness by giving that up, then God will give you heaven. People are going to get what they want. And it says in Acts 5:32 that the Holy Spirit, the power to repent, is given to those who obey God. You see, I don't know if you remember the old safety deposit boxes at the bank. And to open that, you have to have two keys. One is from the bank. We'll call that God's grace. And the other is yours. We'll call that repentance. You can turn that repentance key, and if God doesn't give you grace, you will not go to heaven. You can repent all you want, and you won't enter heaven. But God has turned his key for the whole world. But most people will not be able to open the box of heaven because they don't repent. They love the world more than God. And so sometimes the last little thing is holding grudges and forgiveness. You see, I don't hate the Bilderberg People Group or the World Economic Forum Group or the Apollo astronauts or whoever, whatever. My own sister disappeared and was probably raped and murdered. I don't hate that person. I feel sorry for them. Who would do such a thing in their right mind? And so Bill Gates, or whoever you want to vilify, right? He had parents who taught him racism from the cradle. And when he talks, look at his body language. He's talks like this, like an autistic person. The guy's got something wrong in his brain. The guy needs our pity, If he repents and gives glory to God, what a glorious thing it would be. You see that? If an Apollo astronaut comes forward and confesses, what a glorious thing that would be. It says heaven rejoices more over one sinner who repents than over 99 righteous people who don't need to repent. That's the gloriousness. That's me. I was a big sinner, doing every drug that I could possibly get my hands on, having as many girlfriends simultaneously as I could possibly have, pornography, bad, crooked business deals. I did it all. And God gave me mercy as long as I let go of that junk. We've all fallen overboard and we're in rough seas, and Jesus is the life preserver, but we can't hold on to him and also hold on to the world and sin. We have to let go of sin to take hold of God. And few people want to do that.
Yeah, he says, focus on me and not the storm.
That's right. And, his yoke is easy.
It's basic.
Yeah, it's basic.
His yoke is easy, his burden is light. And if we really think about it, sin is having pleasure now and pain later. And repenting is having pain now and pleasure of eternal life later. And so if we really think about it, if Jesus' burden is light and easy, sin is actually more painful. All the train wrecks of my life came from me being drunk, really. All the bad decisions, all the thievery, all the immorality, all the lying. I did all that, almost all of it intoxicated, right? And I paid the price, and I'm still paying the price, really, and broken relationships that can't mend because of my sin. So sin is harder than repenting, really, if you really think about it.
Yeah.
If you had a hell of a hangover, the hangover will teach you not to drink. Like I had a hell of a hangover from
hangovers. Oh, that's the worst.
Jägermeister.
Yeah.
If you ever had a hell of a hangover from Jägermeister, Jägermeister will have you seeing demons. I quit Jaeger like in college. Like I drank
That's
all
a
this
college
stuff.
drink.
Oh yeah, but once you experience a Jägermeister hangover, it's enough to make you quit all alcohol. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, Jägermeister is crazy. But yeah, I don't drink anymore. But once I had enough hangovers, I was like, yeah, I'm done. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's
well, you know, the government wants everybody high and drunk. I mean, why do you think they're making pot legal? Because they want people to be in their own little world and not focusing on the corruption of the federal government, right?
Well, we could talk about that because a lot of weed is actually eye-opening and it kind of like separates you from the programming. But that's another topic. Do you know what I mean? Because then
it could be. I mean,
you can't just sugarcoat that.
We can talk about sugar too.
I've had my own little drug revelatory experiences on ecstasy, you know, which is my favorite, but it was short-lived.
Yeah.
And the true high is sobriety. And the fact is, you know, I can parallel park like zoom, boom, done. And then when I've had one or two beers, it's almost comedic. Right? In parallel park. It does affect mind and it does affect our perception of reality. And the Bible says, be sober. It says it. And it says drunkards, and there's more than one thing to get drunk on, are outside of the kingdom of God. So, and we're also setting a bad example, right? Maybe you can drink and be a Christian. Maybe you can smoke pot and being a Christian. I don't know. I do know that is putting yourself at risk, right? It does contradict the scripture, be sober, and it's also setting a bad example because then they think, oh, you can still be a Christian and not have to repent of those things. I don't know. Could be a stepping stone, you know, toward quitting.
Yeah, you don't want to overdo anything.
That's
what
I was going to say.
You could drink too much water and die. You know what I'm saying? So you got to have moderation. You got to have it stop, you know, a part where you stop. You don't want to have too much of anything, even with the alcohol, you know what I mean? Whether it's turning water into wine. You don't want to drink all the wine. You want to be chill, be balanced.
Yeah.
Be Libra.
Well, it might have been champagne.
Yeah, so, you know.
I think it was champagne.
I think sobriety is the ultimate high. That we have to have a clear mind to make wise choices about sin. And having that clouded is probably not a good idea.
Yeah. I wanted to ask real quick.
Origin is good.
Because you talked to Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan used to talk about moon landing being fake all the time. He was like, there's no way we went to the moon, no way we went to the moon. And then all of a sudden, he was quiet about it. It was almost like somebody approached him. But when you talked to him, did he say anything about why he switched?
Well, you'll have to ask him that yourself. I'm not going to speak for him. He did what he did, you know, or said what he said and whatever. You know, we'll see. You know, the main thing is to realize that this moment is historic. And they did fake the moon landing, and we've heard their side for 54 years. Their side doesn't need to be defended. And we don't talk about the weather if there's a ticking time bomb under our table. And these people did fake the moon landing. They did kill Kennedy, and they're still in power. We don't need to take their side to be fair. they did do those things. We need to instead talk about how to get rid of those people and to make the world a better place rather than debating whether they really did evil or not. They did do evil. So let's talk about how to deal with it.
Well, we can start with NASA's budget because they make about $25 billion a year for all of those graphic designs and fake videos they send out.
Well, they can't be trusted, that's for sure, until they come clean about the moon landing fraud. So I don't even know whether the probes on Mars are real or
Definitely
who
not.
knows what. Half is real, half is fake. Who knows? They can't be trusted. That's for sure.
Yep.
That's man, that's right on point. That's true, man. It's so good when you can have a conversation like that, regardless of religion or belief, and you can come together with one cause and just build on just righteousness and changing is for the better, changing for the better. And no matter what walk of life you're coming through, you know, the struggle is real. Everybody come through a struggle where you face some type of adversity or things like that. You can come to a circle where, okay, you experiencing it and you showing your experience and what helped you through, you know, your experience. And it's always good to learn from that. We all learn from each other as we sit around and we build. We get some type of jewels, we say. And it's always good to sit around the table. I like to say the table or cipher or whatever, and, you know, immerse with each other and share this. Because you got to remember, even at the birth, it said 3 kings came, right? At the birth of Christ, 3 kings from all over. They just came to bring their jewels. Everyone would come to sit around. One person come from Africa or Persia or, you know, East. And it might have been somebody from America. You know what I mean? You never know. But we are here now to build, and you're doing a great job by just letting us know through your journey, we can, you know, someone out there, even myself, we can learn from it. Like, okay, now we looking even further, put our binoculars on, our glasses. You saw They Live, right? 19.
I saw what?
They Live, the movie.
They Live.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one of the clips of Moon Man, the book, is probably the most frightening video clip to me. Is this old sign-off. Back in the day, TV ended about 1 a.m. and picked up again at 5 a.m. And whenever they went off the air, they would play the national anthem and show a film of like the Statue of Liberty, Lincoln Memorial, and so forth. Well, someone did a 16 millimeter transfer of that to video, slowed it down, and it's one of the clips at Sibrel.com for the book Moon Man. And the lyrics of the national anthem are at the bottom of the video. And when the lyrics change to the next verse, they kind of do this kind of Venetian blind ripple. And if you slow it down, it actually says, consume, obey, consume, trust the government is God, among other things.
Wow.
A lot of what was said in the movie They Live 20 years later. So that's a bit odd, don't you think? And that's how wicked it is. I mean, when I see that, it's just like, is the world really that wicked? Is it really that bad?
That's the Matrix.
Apparently it is. And people have this, you know, Stockholm syndrome where they're defending the moon landings, defending their murderers, defending their oppressors, defending their kidnappers. And I don't know what to say. It's just pride. They won't want to admit that they're wrong.
I want to say, Bart, that you are the trailblazer for this whole awakening that will happen at some point. There's no way that it's going to keep going on. They're going to have to, and unfortunately, like you said, where you hope not, but they're probably going to just admit it, but still act like they went to the moon. But for whatever reason, this is because of you, I would say, mostly leading this charge for so long and the amazing work that you've done. You helped this come out to the whole world. And I just can't thank you enough. And
amazing.
People know, that Bart, you are the trailblazer, in my opinion, for this massive awakening that will happen at some point.
Well, hopefully it will happen. You know, I learned about the moon landing fraud from Bill Casey, and people like Gerald White learned it from me. And it's more like a baton in a relay race, and I have it for this moment until I pass it on. And, they did fake the moon landing. It's offensive. They murdered people to cover it up. The widow of the Apollo astronaut who was going to be the first man on the moon said so. And because it's this pride-puffing, glorious thing, people don't want to see the fact that they were lied to. They don't want to admit that fact. And Carl Sagan said, once you're captured by a lie, it's hard to admit the truth. And that's the case. And they're still doing it to this day, defending some technological achievement that can't be repeated despite 50 years of advancements, making excuses why that's the case. Well, it's the case because they faked it, and people need to wake up and realize the world is run by a bunch of lying gangsters. So what can you do?
Pride. I got a quote for Pride for you. You can put it up there. It'll take too long. I'll just read it. And I know you got a lot of scriptures from it. I know it goes before destruction. But it says, pride is at the bottom of all great mistakes. And I guess the pride of their heart has deceived them, right? Yeah.
That's right.
Wow.
Yep. We have to realize the bitterest lie is better than the sweetest truth. And it's ironic that it's mankind's greatest accomplishment by the most powerful nation on earth is making this atrocity, and that people are defending it to their dying day rather than admit that they were deceived.
Blue pill versus red pill.
Knicks versus
What's that?
Yeah.
Blue pill versus red pill.
I guess so. Something's going on.
The Knicks versus the Pacers.
I mean, because some people will stubbornly just, want to believe, that the moon landing happened and all that stuff,
Yeah, a lot of people like to be asleep. I guess.
But you have to forgive them. That's where it goes back. That's where it gets
right.
biblical, because it's like, forgive them for they do not know.
Forgive.
Exactly.
Forgive them. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like, I forgive you. You don't know. You move on.
I don't.
Yeah, well,
I got you.
We'll see what happens. I guess we'll just have to pray that God will.
Well, you got books coming.
What's that?
I said you got your book out there. That should do something, right?
Yeah.
Read the book and then.
Feel free to go to Sibrel.com, get the moon book or the alien book, and I try to warn people this is what happened and regarding the moon landing fraud, and this is what could happen regarding a fake alien invasion. And it looks like if von Braun himself said, who faked the moon missions, that they're planning on faking an alien invasion, I would take that to heart. And it seems like this could be the counterfeit appearance of the Luciferian Messiah that they're going to claim.
Project Bluebeam.
Here to save us. So
explain to us what project, because I've been hearing about that a lot.
Yeah, Project Bluebeam. They're going to do some holographic stuff in the sky, make a bunch of people think there's an alien attack happening.
Like the drone?
Yeah, I mean, they're able to create holograms now. They're practicing to do holograms like in China already. You know what I mean? Like they're able to project things in the sky.
You ever seen any of that stuff online with the holographic imagery that they've been doing in China and various other countries?
No, I'm not down there. Yeah, I saw the dragon. They have dragons and stuff like that.
Yeah. But here's my thing. I mean, you guys is talking about some UFO invasion. I mean, what if they put an image of Christ up there? You know what I mean? Beaming out of the sky as a hologram. Wouldn't you probably would think Christ is coming back. That's kind of the same thing as faking an invasion of extraterrestrials.
But I think that's what they're saying. Yeah, is that if they put it, that America is doing it. So if they put it up there, it's to fool people. So if they say UFOs and everything that they put out there, that people would get souped up and they would believe and follow it. So even if they put the Christ up there, it's still following what they're saying, the narrative of they are making these things happen. So it's to blind people, I think. Well,
I would say that this is another fake threat, a made-up threat to get everybody into fear that will then accept that there is not going to be an America no more. There's not going to be a Russia. There's not going to be these countries fighting each other. That we're all going to come together to fight this alien threat. That's what this is about. It's to bring about a one world government. That's what Satan wants, is this, again, this one world government. And this is why they're doing it. It's not so much like America, it's they're all involved. And this is to bring down all of this stuff to go into a one world government.
Yep. Based on communism.
Show that again, show me that again, man. I mean, if you just outside for real, when they had a big whale just flying in the sky like that. I mean, it's tacky, you know, but it's like, if they're gonna do that, you know what I'm saying, over the world, and just I wonder if that.
You know what's kind of crazy?
Yeah.
What if it was like
tacky to me.
Yeah. What if we was walking down? What if we was walking up Main Street, right? And you see I say, yo, Priest, look up. It's solid, look. And you see the craft. Mm-hmm. But yo, I mean, you know, that right there is kind of like that's for entertainment.
No, but Bart's not laughing. They're gonna really try it, right?
They're practicing. They're experimenting. They're getting
it's
ready.
like that scene off of Spider-Man. What's that guy, Mysterio? He had the drone.
Pope
Remember that?
now? Why is the Pope going to have a press conference? Why would the Pope at the Vatican be holding a press conference to talk about aliens?
Right.
And this.
Not only that, they're doing it on CNN.
And this is something that's been going on from, I know Bart and most of you know, like the War of the Worlds and that whole thing. And like, wasn't it like 1930s where they were playing over the radio that we're being invaded by aliens? I mean, this is something that they've been started with our grandparents for like 3 generations or more of them getting ready.
Yeah, Ronald
and now
Reagan.
we're living in the time.
Ronald Reagan
And
talked
now-
about it, remember?
Yeah. And that's what he was the one saying, like I said, it's so everybody will stop. There's no reason for America and Russia to fight because there's an even bigger threat, the aliens. So, yeah, I mean, it all just seems like predictive programming. And that's what I think Bart's book is showing and what we're getting at.
Worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet, I ask you, is not an alien force already among us? What could be more alien to the universal aspirations of our peoples than war and the threat of war?
Well, we got cell phones. That happened pretty quick.
Well, he just said, no, he said, you heard what he just said?
Yeah.
He said, what if they're already here?
That's what I'm saying.
Coming.
Now, here's my thing. Can I say?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think they were governor of Arkansas back then.
Yeah, I mean, listen. I used to deal with this subject matter a lot. You know what I'm saying? I used to, listen to Art Bell and all them guys, Coast to Coast Radio. I'm pretty sure you heard, Art Bell is, right, guys? Right?
Yeah, and George Norrie.
Yeah, George Norrie. In fact, I used to call up on the show and actually talk to those guys.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They used to interview Zechariah Sitchin, the likes.
Right.
This is back in the 90s.
Right.
And I always bring this up. Bob Lazar. You guys, you guys are familiar with him, right?
Yeah, you asked me that one time.
Yeah,
before.
I mean, I always bring him up. According to him, he and a few other people that Art Bell interviewed, because I want to get into the fact that Ronald Reagan is talking about they're already here.
Yeah.
According to some of these people that been on that program that worked at NASA, right? Well, not NASA. I'm sorry. Was it Area 51?
Yeah.
And right there, there's S4 and there's various different military secret divisions there. It's not just Area 51. That's just one of the locations, correct? You know what I'm saying? So they talk about them having beings. They talk about the tall whites. I'm pretty sure you guys may have researched about those particular beings that they say that they communicated with these beings. They have crashed. They saying they have evidence of crafts that's crashed here thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
Lazar says he worked with these people. You feel what I'm saying? And actually worked on these crafts. So my whole thing is, maybe they are here. But here's my thing. We don't know. We really don't know. Because you're either going to take Lazar's credit, you're going to believe, you could believe in what he says, or we can, yeah. So, yeah, go ahead. Build on that.
On your phone.
Well, I would go with Bill Cooper. Everybody knows me, knows, my love for Bill Cooper and his research. And Bill Cooper called out Bob Lazar and all of them. Bill Cooper is actually also the reason why we even know there's an Area 51, was he was the one who exposed it. He was the guy who was exposing these UFOs and alien stuff. But then he eventually came out and said, these are top secret military flying, that this is the military, that this isn't aliens. And he is the one who exposed, because he was a naval intelligence officer with a high clearance. And he found out that they're being told what Razul said, that there was this crashed aliens thing, but this is all nonsense. And that's what Bill Cooper and I believe. So that this is like what Bart was mentioned earlier, where there's lies and lies for every angle. This was like a lie to get probably intelligence agents and others to believe in this for down the line, to be part of, psyops and lies. But there is no evidence for aliens, and that stuff was top secret military.
So what do you think? You think that Lazar was maybe why would they bring him?
I think they're compartmentalized.
To analyze. I mean, so because I kind of look at it like maybe this technology that he was looking at was, what I'm saying, they was experimenting with because now we see the TikTok. They talk about TikTok UFOs. They're talking about all this stuff in the media for the last year now.
And CNN.
CNN is all over.
Press.
You know what I'm saying? The UFO phenomenon is out. There's no doubt about it. Okay?
Well, it's out because they want it to be out. CNN
exactly.
is,
okay, but Lazar, let's keep it real. Lazar these guys been talking about this stuff for 30 years, maybe 30 years now. It's now.
Yeah, but Bob Lazar,
popular.
as best as I can tell, is sincere. That doesn't mean that it's an extraterrestrial craft just because he saw a technology. Mm-hmm. If fallen angels have been around for thousands of years, I mean, just imagine, let's just say they could go to the moon in 1969. Imagine the technology that would be around 6,000 years later. So if fallen angels have been around for thousands of years, they could build zero gravity aircraft. They could build little green men, white men, gray men as their worker bee drones that are biological entities that they could masquerade as aliens from another world. Just because there's a zero gravity craft coming out of the ocean doesn't mean it's extraterrestrial. In fact, it's proof right there. It's from Earth. It's coming out of the ocean, not from outer space. And so the fallen angels could have given this technology to the military, and of course they're liars, right?
They're
fallen
angels gave
so
them
they
the technology?
they claim they're from some galaxy 300 light years away that can't be proven or disproven. How convenient is that? And they certainly, have the appearance of what everyone believes to be extraterrestrial or extraterrestrial technology. The fact is the top 2 UFO researchers say that while UFOs are real, they're from Earth and not from outer space. So I believe what Bob Lazar saw was one of those aircraft that has technology that's been around for thousands of years, but is from Earth. And if there are biological entities that people saw, if we can make biological, test tube babies, they could probably make worker bees and things like that have been around for thousands of years. One of the things that people talk about during a quote alien abduction is that the women say their eggs were taken and men say their sperm was taken. Well, in Leviticus 19:19, God says not to crossbreed species. So GMOs are sinful, it says right there in the Bible. And when you disobey that, when you take, like, let's say a horse and then a donkey to make a mule, the mule is sterile. You see, God built into the DNA that when you disobey, the species ends. So if, quote, aliens, which are really fallen angels, interbred with humans, then their offspring, the giant Nephilim, are sterile. That's why they're harvesting sperm and eggs during, quote, alien abductions, because they're really fallen angel hybrids. And when people invoke the name of Jesus during an alien abduction, they run away. Well, if they're from another planet, why would the name Bart or Vinny or Bob or Buddha or Jesus, what difference would it make, right? But for some reason, they run away. For some reason, they're harvesting sperm and eggs when the Bible says that the Nephilim crossbreed are sterile. Fertility rates have dropped 65% ever since GMOs were introduced into the food supply, right? So you can have zero gravity craft that is not extraterrestrial. In fact, there's a book called The Privileged Planet that says there should be zero life in the universe, that any life being here is tantamount to someone winning the Powerball lottery 20 times in a row. It can't happen, which means it was designed. And if you look at Revelation 21:3, it actually indicates that life on Earth is the only life in the universe. It says at least 4 times in the Bible that God does not show partiality. He's not a respecter of persons. He doesn't assume that the rich are, evil just because they're rich. He gives everyone a fair shake. And so if God does not show partiality, and the Bible says that when the new heaven and the new earth is made, that God will personally dwell with us. If there were life on other worlds, and he's dwelling with us and not them, then he'd be showing partiality. You see that? So the only way that he can dwell with us in the new heaven and new earth and not show partiality is if we're it. And what a surprise that what the government wants us to believe is the exact opposite of the truth. They say life is abundant, it's everywhere in the universe. Well, scientifically, mathematically, life should not even be here, that it has to be intentional design. And the Bible says that God doesn't show partiality. He'll dwell with us, which he can't do if there's life on other worlds. That would be showing partiality. So the exact opposite of what the government wants us to believe ends up being true, which is we're it. This is it. This is all the life in the universe. And these crafts, while they may have been eyewitnessed, doesn't mean that they're from outer space. That's an assumption based on psychological propaganda programming that we are inundated with. The CIA bought CNN from Ted Turner. It only cost, I think, $4.5 billion, which is about a third of the price of one ship in the Navy. And now they get to control the media in every airport that everybody sees, at least for a while before the internet started. If they're saying UFOs are real, that's the same group that says the moon landings are real. Remember, Stephen Greer, the guy who's going around, they're parading around, saying UFOs are real, aliens are real. His number one proof is that the Apollo astronauts told him so. You can be sincere and be sincerely wrong. Stephen Greer thinks the moon landings are real. If he can't tell the truth about that and believes the opposite of the truth, then I say what he believes about aliens is also the opposite of the truth, and double the proof thereof is that his number one source of aliens is the Apollo line astronauts. So it does appear that there is an alien deception. If the mainstream lying media who's lied about everything suddenly wants to talk about aliens being real, then I suspect they're not real. And that technology that we saw of the whale floating around, or the big kitty, I just don't want to be in charge of emptying that litter box, right? Is if they're able to do that now commercially, and I noticed that's in China. I haven't seen that in America yet, have we? I visited Japan a couple of times. They have technology there that we didn't get until 10 or 15 years later, that our government didn't want us to have. Okay? So imagine if that technology is commercially available, when it was really created, maybe 20 years earlier. What could they do, like you're talking about, faking Jesus appearing or faking UFOs? I don't doubt that pilots saw this craft in front of them, go from 50,000 feet to 5 feet above sea level in 1 second. I don't doubt that that's what they saw. But how do we know that's not a hologram, right? They can control what the ground crews receive during an alleged flight to the moon, where the guy admits there's no difference between a simulation and a real flight. So they faked out all those computers in 1969. I think they can fake out a radar image on any airplane that they want, including a guy who they want to testify UFOs are real, when in fact they manipulated his radar and manipulated his eyes with a holographic image. I mean, can a craft really go from 50,000 feet to 5 feet in 1 second? Not aerodynamically, but optically it could if it's a hologram. It's like pointing a flashlight and moving it. It's pretty simple, you see? And then there's the other guy they're parading around the last few months in front of the media. He says UFOs are real and aliens are real. And when a guy asks him, a reporter says, well, did you see a UFO? Well, no. Did you see an alien? Well, no. But people in the government told me that it was real, and they told me to tell everybody. I mean, come on. How much more propaganda can there be?
Well said, bro.
It's the next distraction.
Yeah, well, you know, even the word UFO, it's not even a word, like, it's an illogical statement, unidentified flying object. You're admitting that you don't even know what you're looking at.
Right.
So right there, it's not it's a nonsensical argument. You understand what I'm saying? If you talk to an intelligent person,
they're already admitting they don't know.
all right. So the argument is nonsensical, really. It has no real merit to it.
Yeah, an airplane is a UFO to a baby.
Right.
You understand that? In a logical conversation, it has no merit. Just like talking about angels,
You
really
brought that
don't
up.
have no merit. Really.
Yeah, you brought that up.
Yeah, there's
Listen,
you could
that's
say
a belief.
there's more proof
It is.
that the moon missions are real than there are
Priest.
aliens.
Thank you, Priest.
And that proof ended up being a bunch of contrived fake moon rocks, right? They opened a moon rock in a museum, and it ended up being a piece of petrified wood.
So
No one realizes that the
No, we're
moon
gonna
rocks
keep
are
it moving.
fake.
no, because I was just
Yeah.
at the museum the other day, and
Oh, really?
yeah, I go to the
one?
science. You ain't never been down there? We all got to go and check it out. So I want to ask a question. So you don't think that the stuff that's in the science museum down here in Expedition Park in Los Angeles, you don't think that those are meteorites in there? Because they have an actual meteorite there. You don't, a piece of you don't think that stuff is real? You think it's just on display?
Nope.
Oh, the meteorite probably is. You can buy those from eBay. And a fragment of a meteorite, they hit news all the time. Whether it's a moon rock, that's another thing.
Okay, all right. Because you guys, I know y'all don't really like NASA. So you guys is y'all, you guys are. I'm a science. Yeah, there it is. There's the shirt. Yeah.
Right. Well, you know that this whole time they was on here breaking down how the moon.
That could
the
be
moon
real.
landing is fake.
I'm not saying. I'm not disagreeing with that.
Well, I'm just saying this whole time they was sitting here explaining to us about how the NASA's fake,
Right.
and the whole moon landing is a setup,
Right.
and they were breaking this down clear as day. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, you was here the whole time. They don't agree with that, so it's like,
Yeah, I know. It's just I don't know.
What he was saying about is an absolute fact, and the museum, I think it was in Sweden. Maybe I'm wrong, but NASA sent supposed moon rocks to a museum in Sweden, I believe, or Switzerland.
Well, actually, it was Amsterdam. The way that it went down was this. A couple of guys were sitting around going, hey, guys, why don't we open this moon rock? Take a look at it. So maybe you're right. Maybe smoking pot is good, at least for questioning the authenticity of the moon landing.
For Amsterdam.
And so they put the thing under a microscope. Mind you, that Neil Armstrong said he personally picked up this rock, put it in his pocket to save it for the Prime Minister of the Netherlands, gave it to him. They put it in a box, seal it up. No one expects that they will ever open it, but some curator, after my film came out, became curious. Maybe they didn't go to the moon. Opens it up, puts it under a microscope. It's petrified wood. Makes a little bit of the, curiosity news. Isn't it curious that a moon rock is proven to be fake? That Neil Armstrong says he personally picked up off the surface. No one asks, well, what about the moon missions? I talked to the Washington Post. I said, look, you have this footage of them faking being halfway to the moon. Why don't you do a story about that? He said, if I did, I'd be fired. We had NBC News hire me, pay me thousands of dollars, fly me to New York. They're going to break the story nationwide. The moon missions are fake, showcasing this footage. They get a call from the federal government telling them to back down. You can't even find the original story. Nobody knows that 6 months ago, AI said the moon missions were fake. You can't even find that story anywhere, not even on RT when Putin was there, right? Fox doesn't cover it. Nobody covers it. If you find the original link, which is in Russian, it says if you click on this link, all the data on your computer will be stolen and you'll be associated with child pornography. Seriously, it says that. That's how desperate they are to get people to not be aware that the smartest computer just said that the pictures that they claim were on the moon from the 60s and 70s are fake. That's a pretty big revelation, don't you think? Don't you think that should make the evening news, that for some strange reason, the most advanced AI in the world said that the Chinese pictures on the moon surface are real and the Nixon administration Apollo pictures are fake? You don't think that should make national news, even if the computer's wrong? Don't you find that odd? And they really are trying to dissuade people from finding the original link to that degree?
You
That's
know,
pretty desperate.
You know, Neil Armstrong backwards is Nort's Mr. Alien. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know
Give
that.
yourself a bomb.
Well, that's amazing.
Nort's Mr.
amazing,
Alien.
AD.
How much more proof do you need?
That's crazy. That is wild. That is wild. I see
can
the
you do?
A-L-I-E Armstrong. Look, that
Nort's.
is crazy. That is
His
crazy.
real name is Nort's. He's Mr. Alien.
They used to call him Dork.
Neil
Right, Nort's.
Armstrong.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Come on.
Well, before I go, I got a joke for you.
Okay.
Oh, there's that big cat.
Get this guy.
Yeah, he was-
Look out.
God, he always walking around.
I hope his poop is holograms.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this definitely doesn't smell like a hologram.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's always coming up during a certain time.
Well, so how many CIA agents does it take to screw in a light bulb?
How many?
Well, I could tell you, then I have to kill you.
Ooh.
Oh, that's good. That's-
Anyway, I've got to run. I
All
wish
right.
you all well.
I want to say thank you for coming to the show.
Definitely. Very informative, man.
Yeah. That was very informative. That was dope. Yeah.
Well, if they can fake applause for Bart Sibrel, then they can fake anything.
Yeah, man. And Bart, we love when you come on to the show, man. Thank you so much for and make sure y'all get his book too. When is your book out?
It's out now. Just go to Sibrel.com. You can get the Moon book or the Alien book. It's in audio. I read it myself, Kindle or print. And they have interactive video links to back up everything I say in the book.
Nice.
Right there at Sibrel.com.
Man, and thank you,
I saw
Vinny,
you
man.
have a couple of autographed books too, right? You got some autographed.
Yeah, I just put those up there not too long ago. I dug out 3 posters from a funny thing happened on the way to the moon. I didn't even know I
I
had
love that
them.
title. Funny thing happened on my way to the That's dope. That's nice. Yeah. Okay. And thank you, Vinny, man. Vinny's really been pushing for you, man. Pushing. This is so dope, man. Thank you, Vinny, too. Word. Up in the Bronx.
Right.
Bronx.
The BX.
Vinny from the Bronx.
Well,
Right.
You
like
know
I
Jenny?
said, Bart's a legend to me. I mean, it's an honor. Bart, like Gary Webb and so many important investigative reporters. Just thank you for being a part of the podcast and coming
No
out.
problem. Glad to do it. God bless everybody.
Thank you for
Hang
coming,
in
though,
there.
man. Thank you,
To the end.
man. And you stayed longer than you said you would, so I'm proud of that. Yeah.
Thank
Peace. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Bart, man. Sibrel.
God bless.
Bart.
Bless.
Bart
bless, man.
Sibrel.
Peace.
Peace.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's do it. Wait, you sound like Biss when you said that. Bart Sibrel. Yeah.
Why you always saying I said
You do. You say that again? Bart Sibrel.
Bart Sibrel?
Yeah. That's up by the Hebrew, too.
Kind of like
Yeah.
you hang out with those. I don't know.
Yeah,
Those wild.
Vinny, what's good, Vinny? That was.
Yeah, I'm gonna get out of the way. I just,
Okay.
thank you for letting Bart come on. Like he said, why aren't other people? Joe Rogan isn't talking about it. Glenn Beck, Alex Jones, none of these people are talking about it. So thank you, Killah Priest, and the audience and everybody involved in this that allows us to go on, that's letting Bart talk about this,
All
letting
right.
other guests talk about stuff.
What up? Yeah.
this is an important topic, and you know, I do think that within possibly the next year, this year and next year, we're gonna have some type of event where they're gonna, you know, like I brought up, why is the Pope about to have a press conference? They haven't had a press conference in over 40 years. And now all of a sudden you're gonna have one about aliens, the Pope. Like, I don't know, it just seems like it's
really kind of funny to me too. Yeah. What does he talk about? When does the Pope ever gave a speech? Right?
That's true.
Does he speak Latin?
Well, no. But I mean, I think it was 1978 was the last time a Pope gave like a press conference on something. And they're gonna have a press conference they're talking about to talk about aliens.
Who's the new Pope?
Again, the Pope Francis, the first Jesuit Pope. It's the, you know, everybody loves being the Jesuits.
Yeah.
Pope Francis is a Jesuit. Like admitted, like he was a Jesuit who's now the Pope. So, you know, again, I don't know how anybody could argue that the Jesuits aren't running the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, Pope Francis, the Jesuit, is talking about a press conference to talk about this, because now they got to spin it, right? And they're going to probably get into this being maybe demonic spirits, aliens, fallen angels, Nephilim, something.
Yeah,
so
big fish hat.
Yeah, fish hat for Dagon.
Which is on its way out because we're no longer in the age of Pisces.
Swim that.
Yeah.
Put that underwater and let it, huh?
But yeah, no. So I just, you know, I wanted to bring up that, how the movies coming out, this new one, I think Fly Me to the Moon's coming out with Shane and Tatum and these people. It's really because of Bart, man. Like, I can't give Bart enough credit, man. Like, he really is the number one guy, the head of this, who got the videotape. It's not conspiracy theories. It's not people like me or Alex Jones or others, or people thinking they lied. He literally has the evidence, has deathbed confessions, has been leading the charge. And I think that it's because of Bart Sibrel that they have to now come out with these things saying, yes, we faked the moon landing, but we still went. It was just, we had to do it because if we didn't have the footage, we'd at least be able to show you this. Now they're coming up with the lies, but that's only going to last so long. And, you know, I'll go out quoting like Cat Williams, the truth is coming out. We ain't playing like Cat Williams.
You said the tooth is coming out?
The truth.
The truth. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
I need my teeth out. I need teeth like my soul, bro. But, you know,
say what?
Yeah. I said, I need nice teeth like you, Raj.
My shit is messed up,
I said,
too.
I would take out my teeth, you know. But, yeah, like Cat Williams said, man, the truth's coming out. And this is one of those lies that's going to be exposed, I really think. And thanks to Bart Sibrel, Killah Priest, Solomon, Razul, thank you guys. Thank you. A Dizzle, of course.
Yeah.
Flattered brother. And, you know, much love to everybody. I hope the audience enjoyed. And, you know, I guess I'll talk to you soon, you know. And, unless you want to ask me, I'll get out of the way.
Yeah, if I got any questions, hit that super chat. Come on and ask your questions, man. We here, man. Let them know. Hit that like button.
Can I ask one? Just one.
Yeah, I'll take one Razul question.
I'm just saying. All right, so he talks about
drum roll.
He talked about the Lucifer telescope, right? Where was that at again?
The Vatican.
I think it's owned by the Vatican.
Okay, now you guys know that they got the James Webb telescope up there right now, and the Lagrange point. Like maybe one of the telescopes is the furthest away from Earth. So I'm trying to figure out how is he saying that telescope that he's claiming it's in the Vatican is the only telescope that saying that they found the ninth.
He's not saying it's the only it's supposedly the biggest and most powerful.
No, it's not. The James Webb telescope is the biggest and most powerful.
That.
Well, I'm gonna let him have his presentation. I ain't gonna interrupt him. I ain't gonna debate him on. But I'm gonna ask Vinny. Yeah. So I mean, you know that
he could still be watching.
Well, you know, I'm just saying that telescope is the biggest telescope now. So just to let it be known.
What's the biggest telescope?
James Webb telescope, and that's changing physics as we speak.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Do you still believe?
Yes. They can't even. They don't even Priest. They don't even have a date. Then they're dating. They're pushing it back now. They have to rewrite the books now because James Webb Telescope is finding galaxies they can't even comprehend how old it is now. You know, it's pretty deep.
Everything before that,
right,
has to be changed.
Yeah, they got to rewrite the books. You know,
always changing.
But you know, hey,
never learn it. Forever learn. Okay.
I just want to know, Razul. My one question for you is: do you still believe they went to the moon?
Yeah, I know what you're trying to do, huh?
I'm just saying. I mean,
I don't know. I'm talking to you and talking to everybody. I don't know if they went to the moon. Okay.
Well, I appreciate you.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe the footage does look kind of strange. That footage from the 1960s, man. You know, it looks funny looking.
Their computers back then were 1 million times less powerful than an iPhone of today.
It was like a calculator.
An iPhone is 1 million times more powerful than their best computer in the 60s.
It was less than a Game Boy.
Come on. They didn't.
All right, well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. So, okay, maybe they didn't go to the moon in the 60s. Maybe they went afterwards. Somewhere along that line.
You would have evidence. You don't spend $200 billion and then destroy all the evidence and the technology and say, we don't know how to get back there.
Okay, so you don't think they've been to Mars either, huh?
No, you guys know what I don't believe in any of that. I'm not even like Bart. Bart still thinks that the earth is a ball, I guess, and these things. I don't. Right, so I don't buy any of that.
I think we need to take you and AD out and actually watch a shuttle take off from Earth.
Well, you know it's gonna land somewhere else anyway.
See, that's what I'm saying. Y'all always try to use.
Yeah, they go like this.
It never goes.
Go like
y'all
this.
just don't want to. Y'all just don't want to. I could take y'all out there. You gotta. We just got Priest. They just gotta go to space.
It's the Disney logo.
He could go to space and still say the Earth is, is still flat.
But Razul, you just had the guys who are known in the world, like Buzz Aldrin and the people that supposedly went,
right,
are punching Bart Sibrel in the face. Others are saying they're going to get the CIA to have him killed.
You know why? Let me
Because
tell you why.
got the
Those guys
truth.
are old, man. You know what I mean? Y'all going in there, he bothering them guys. You know what I mean? Yo, I don't.
So what about the deathbed
it makes them frustrated, man.
So what about the deathbed confession?
The deathbed
confession that he just. Yeah, that was the last time I was on. I told you guys it had almost.
Well, hold on. Here's the thing. All right. They never been to the moon. Now what? Now what? They never.
You mean now what? It's a lie.
Okay,
Razul.
now we know it's a lie. Now what? Now we
so
gonna
what
do?
else are they lying
$200 billion.
They can't be trusted.
Well, what's the deathbed?
The deathbed confession.
What is that?
Priest, I don't think Yeah, what was that? Explain it.
Okay, so
he was
the guy. I'm trying to remember. I wish Bart was here. He, but I'll do my best. It was basically like a guy. There was an Air Force base, Cannon Air Force Base, something like that, where the mooning was fake, where this video was faked, was at this military base. And one of the security guys that was there, where like these 15 people he was talking about that were allowed to see it and this and that guy who was the security, he is the one on the deathbed confession. Okay, so the guy who was there, who watched them fake the moon landing, Razul, it's his deathbed confession. After he died, and then it was like his son had to die, and then it was released. They gave it to Bart Sibrel, and Bart Sibrel released it after they were dead. And he confesses. He confessed to killing someone too. That's what, if you've heard Bart talked about it, where he talked about killing another guy. This was a deathbed confession.
We got to do a part 2.
Yeah.
That's deep. That's deep. He got a body.
Bart's got so much, man.
He got a body on his
story,
shoulder,
bro. I mean,
he got a body and.
I mean, Bart's been through it, man. Like his story is crazy, bro. Like he was telling you about where they, with the truth serum and this and that.
Yeah,
bro. He sent the stuff to a lab under a different name. The lab the next day called and said it was broke into.
What
this is how powerful.
That's when they take his urine, right? You talking about
like,
they took the urine?
Yeah, like the drug. He sent that test to prove that he was drugged.
Okay.
And he didn't hear. They did it with a wristband. They put a wristband on him that must have had. He said they had gloves on and they put this thing. So that must have been where he got it from. They put like this band on his arm, and that's probably what put the drug into him. So he sends the drug to a lab. The lab gets broken into.
Oh.
Like, this is how crazy it is. You know, the police were there to stop him from getting into CNN. Like I said, man, the fact that he's alive is because God protected him and doesn't want him gone.
That's dope.
And he has a mission.
That's dope. We still got him there.
Exactly, you know, and
it's like we had Jordan Maxwell. We didn't have a long time. No, you got that little. We didn't have a long time with him, but you know, condolence to his family. He was up here, man. We got to kick it with him. I know you and him got some history that go back a little bit. We talk about that later.
Yeah. That's what made me reach out to you to come on the show.
Yeah.
Jordan Maxwell.
Mr. J.
Hey, man, maybe clever as you may be, I may be right. You know what I mean?
Cool.
Well, I appreciate you, Razul.
Yeah.
Huh?
You know, I always had, you could ask Killah, Razul. I've always talked good about, even in the beginning.
Hey, listen, man.
I got respect for you because
it's all information.
Yeah.
You see?
Well, the fact is that we're real.
Like that information.
We're being honest, Razul, and I respect that. We don't have to agree. I always tell people, if someone agrees with everything I say,
y'all was wrong about that telescope, though.
You're not thinking for yourself. There's just too many things, you know. So I've always respected you because you are honest, and I think you're an intelligent guy.
Oh, thanks.
And to me, I just don't like fake people or liars, and you're not one of those. So I got respect for you, Razul.
Yeah, I try not to lie.
Yeah, you don't seem like one to me. And that's why you got my respect. Whether you're Christian, whether you believe you're on the pole or whatever, I don't care.
Man. Yeah,
thank you, Vinny.
You know, I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're back, bro.
I'm glad you're back as well. You know, unfortunately, you're wrong about that telescope.
Let's do that later.
Maybe
you want to keep. Y'all want to keep. No, because y'all two going to keep going.
He's setting up for a part
maybe
two.
He's setting up for part two. AD like this. AD like this.
Well, it's good programming, and I like that everyone's gentlemanly.
Well, go at it then.
They're all scholars.
Have at it.
Very good.
No. I'm not a scholar. Right. I don't know. The last I knew, you know, I haven't checked in a while. It's been years, but years ago, I was told that Lucifer was the big telescope that the Vatican owns. But maybe you're right.
Maybe they own. I don't know.
I'm not
I heard something about the computer. It was the 666 Beast.
Right.
It said that the largest computer.
It's called 6. Yep.
Yeah.
666.
Yeah. So probably that would be his cousin, right? The telescope. They will all be related somehow. Word. Anyway, man, this would be definitely a part two. We could sit down and go through the through the records and stuff, and through the data.
Yeah.
And well, it's good. Yo, Bart that was great. And shout out to Nephtali. I saw you up there. Shout out to Nephtali. Miss from the school. Somebody said something. All right, so yo, man, we're gonna let you off the craft and say thank you for coming through. Go on, man. Let's get down.
Thank you.
Let's get to the music.
I'll talk to you guys later, man.
Peace.
Good job, Vinny.
Yeah.
Thanks, AD.
It was dope.
Peace.
Okay, let's get to the music, man.
Let's
get
go.
to the best part, man.
Song promotion.
We went a little further.
Sending your music, we play it live on the show for Killah Priest and the world to hear.
That was dope. Went a little further than I expected at the time. Not you. Now his Born was gonna come in and build on that on certain things, but we went a little further. It's all good. But anyway, let's go.
Let's go. First submission we got for today is by Reborn the Rebizzle from Danbury, Connecticut, originally from the Bronx, New York. Song is called Rebel Against the System. Here we go.
Shout out to that brother. Reborn, right?
Yeah, shout out to Reborn.
I was getting into him singing.
I'm a rebel against this whole system. We don't do it like this, alright?
Aurora.
Where you at, son? Where my righteous people's at? Where my godly people's at? Where my real Christians at? You know what I mean? Check it out. Yo, freak the system that try to to keep my people in prison. Spit truth to bring freedom for those who will listen. Bring a conviction for those who love, bring a division. Now it's time to rise up for lost souls and refrigerate. Freak the government for your abuse and stay loving it. Slash souls out of the kingdom to my father's covenant. It's time to rise as we multiply. Replenish the earth with the godly mobilize. Cause we were told to colonize. Break off the chains and try to enslave our brains. Don't let the government control your thinking. It's insane. You have a free will and choose your thoughts. You must present yourselves as we ought. Cause we're the price we've been bought. Hate the system like a corrupt judge in the court. Freak the school systems because the lies that we're taught. Speak the truth regardless of the price. Forget the ice. Cause if I have to lose my life, then let me die in Christ. I'm a rebel against this whole system. When it comes to speaking wisdom, speak it. Truth the truth to the youth, son. Thomas Bull, the system out of lies, so they can beat me. I'm a rebel against this whole system. When it comes to speaking wisdom, speak it. Truth the truth to the youth, son. Thomas Bull, the system out of lies, so they can beat me. Freak the ACS, cause they want my seeds to possess. They bleed deep in my chest, I believe they stress. Try to break up my family and I will bring you calamity. Don't even try it, cause you will feel my wrath and agony. We're not abusive parents, but yet we show discipline. Like my father in heaven, he just taught his children. He does it in love to correct us, to set us straight. So who the hell is y'all devils who want to separate? I don't need y'all to try to monitor my household, cause I'm the king of my castle, I have it under control. Something God desire to have just to keep us intact, but we don't need no help from you, systematic crabs. If you represent the system, then freak you too. Not knowing that the devil had deceived you too. And I got the proof, that's why I tell the truth. Cause I was another victim of the system as a youth too. I'm a rebel against this whole system. Freak it, when it comes to speaking wisdom. Speak it, teach the truth to the youth, son. Teach it, Thomas Bull, the system out of line, so they can beat me. I'm a rebel against this whole system. Freak it, when it comes to speaking wisdom. Speak it, teach the truth to the youth, son. Teach it, Thomas Bull, the system out of line, so they can beat me. Freak the politicians who holler to the cries of the people. When we make our petitions, they look at us evil. I guess man is not equal, cause the system's deceitful. They promise you the world, but they lie to see through. From the commercial, the religious, the corporate systems, military, monetary, penitentiary, prison. The righteous get convicted, while the wicked acquitted. Trying to get justice in this world, son, you can forget it. But trust God, cause in the end, the wicked evicted. So already been foretold, cause the scriptures predicted. Hate the world and the things in it, cause there's too much sin in it. It's time to retrospect because God is preeminent. Now it's time to war, send themselves a warning call. War against Babylon, could be the armies of the Lord, shopping our stores. Get ready for Armageddon, y'all. Good the spirit to be on, let's get our warfare on. I'm a rebel against this whole system. Freak it, when it comes to speaking wisdom. Speak it, speak the truth to the youth, son.
Yo, that was Reborn the Rebizzle. Song was called Rebel Against the System. Produced, composed, and arranged by DJ Rebizzle for Rebeats Productions. Mixed and mastered by Jermaine Robinson Herbert for Zealous Productions. Great submission.
Yo. Awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
Awesome.
I agree completely. You know
Shout
what
out to Reborn.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. I agree completely. I mean, look, it went with the episode. It went with the episode today on the podcast stuff that Bart was talking about, and yeah, of course. So, shout out to Reborn the Rebizzle. You know what I mean, from the BX. You know what I mean, originally. Shout out to him. He's killing it. That's right.
BX?
Yeah, he's, you know, okay. That's what his thing says in his bio. So it says he's originally from BX. He moved up to Connecticut. That's typically how I go down. So, hey man. Shout out to him, man.
Oh, come on. It's dope. It's dope, man. Nice message in it. It's always fun and good to hear when brothers who can MC and then put a message in it. This is a true gift. Keep going.
Word. Shout out. We also got super chat from Oscar. He said Hood Nursery.
Yeah. That's one of my songs.
Yeah.
Shout out to that brother. Hood Nursery.
Fire. All right, let's keep it flying. Next up now, we got this artist named David J. Blazer from San Pedro. The song is called Violation of Probation. Here we go.
Practical like a Glock 19 while I'm just chilling and minding my own business until got thick, escalated quick, lit off with the 16 biscuits, 10 miss, 6 split the uprights. You uptight, trick, I be spreading them like a comma. I'll leave you bent, I'll leave it dent. Beneath the surface, I emerge quick, making you nervous. making you feel kind of worthless, putting all that work in. Well, I just started making you look retarded, abduct you and fuck you in territory that's uncharted. Look what you started, a war in many fours, and you got outsmarted. What were you thinking? Can I ask you a question? Have you been drinking? What the fuck you thinking when you're stepping up to the blazer? Freestyle flowing, take your ass to the equator so it can be tropical when I'm bombing you. I like it sticky when this shit get thick. I hit your ass up, pinch your titties, give them a twist. You like, goddamn, I can't take this. I'm like, wasted, I'm blazing, style's amazing, slashing like Jason. Fuck Freddy, I come still with machete. Are you ready? However, whether or not you're ready, I'm gonna hit your ass up and get your workout, make you sweaty. But then I start shredding you into little pieces like cheese. Motherfucker, please, I come still with the ease. I'm like that bomb ass speed in the breeze. The clouds of vapor going through the leaves of palm trees. When these MCs gather in the middle of the Venice Beach circle, I come through with my pencil and circle the tic-tac-toe of 3 in a row, letting you know, bruh, bitch, you got tossed like salad. I come through with the dressing, blessing them MCs that's confessing. I come through like this. Y'all motherfuckers better realize, before you criticize on the motherfucking energize a cipher. God damn. Chill, bro. Nah, I never chill. That? Caps get pilled when I start peeling them back like banana, like Los Angeles, like Santa Ana. And ripping when I start hitting you with precision in your forehead like nuclear warhead. Impact make you do a backflip from what you got hit. I don't give a mad shit if I spit some written shit. It's like I have a mustache, and we don't like that. So I come back, no recital, freestyle. Last shit I spit was the Bible. Now I gets down with the street lingo. Oh, fuck like bingo. Johnny Ringo, ring, 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 ring. But it's all new to me. I'm a OG. I'm coming through repping the SP 90731, repping 90732.
Oh, hell
what up, Haiti? I know you hate me. I'm getting liability in your facility. It's okay, though. I keep it tasteful and suspenseful. All right. You know I'm going to come through.
That was David J. Blazer with Violation of Probation.
What was that?
Oh.
Oh.
My bad. Yo, it sounds like his freestyle energy is there. He's got the energy. He's got the sound. It just needs to actually say something. You know what I'm saying? And I think that comes with more practice. He's still freestyling. I still see you freestyling. You got to write. You went from weed to alcohol. I
don't even need to go. You just killed everything. You just dropped it. Just dropped it. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's it.
I think that was definitely a freestyle.
Yeah.
Right?
Straight.
All right. So I say that he got something going on there. He has something going on. I'm trying to figure out what he's trying to become. You know? But hey man, you know, it sound you could hear his vocals. It sounds like it's mixed down pretty well.
It's got the energy. There are improvements by comparison.
He's a late bloomer. He's a late bloomer. He's a late bloomer. He's trying to find himself.
Keep going.
Yeah, he's a late bloomer.
Yeah, it's not ready for Spotify.
He'll get it.
Yeah, it's not Spotify worthy yet, but
yeah, he's a late bloomer.
It's not bad for YouTube.
Good.
I think, I think he's in his own pocket. And I think freestyling is his thing. I don't know if he's going to make a track on, his own type of vibe, but, that's up to him. You know what I mean? It reminds me a little bit of Raw a little bit in terms of he's going to do his own thing no matter what we say. So there you go.
Good point.
Yeah, real talk.
Somebody.
I don't know. I think Aurora kind of knows. Aurora.
No. I'm
like,
not. I'm comparing him in a different way. I'm comparing that no matter how you criticize him,
he's going to stick to his.
He's going to stick to his thing.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
He's doing what you call classic. It's weed, drink. Somebody said it. Weed and drinks, and then you classically just go off the top of the head. So it's just like that's what we heard.
That's called intoxicated.
Yeah, intoxicated. And we knew he probably blew,
little something good.
He got the
before
good
he
shit.
did that. Yeah, before he did that freestyle. So like I always say, just listen back to before you put it out there, because you might just. But I guess he's having fun. Some people just like to have fun, man, and he be near the beach and just blow and just spit.
I think
because there was nothing written up.
Because I think we criticize him enough to get a clear understanding that he no matter how much you're gonna criticize him, he's gonna do his own thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I respect that.
Bad publicity is good publicity.
Yeah,
well,
you gotta do what you do.
Yeah, let your mic talk. You know what I mean? Just that was it. All right, let's move on.
No, real talk.
We got
What's this? We have-
Knowledge
we have
Born
something.
in the house. I want to make
What's
sure.
up?
Take his
KB.
mic.
Shout out to Knowledge Born in the building.
He about to do roll call.
Peace to the divine minds assembled, okay? All right. It's the last day of Taurus season, and we did some overindulgence today. Okay. Tomorrow starts the greatest season in the universe. So salute to the Geminis. You understand? what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Salute to the Geminis. Gemini season starts.
When's your birthday?
My birthday's on the 4th.
Understand what I'm saying?
Oh,
so
it's coming up.
June
we about
4th.
to be
Now
in
it's
the
born too.
building.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to say, honest to the Podcraft for giving an opportunity for those minds who they get an opportunity to express themselves in the most righteous manner, in the most creative manner, and the Podcraft gives license and room for all perspectives. So I appreciate y'all for being a beacon of light in the space where people are being silenced, people are being censored, they're being shadow banned and all of that. The Podcraft is a sacred space for people with all kinds of minds and all kinds of information. So I think this is holy ground right here. You see what I'm saying? So honest to Mr. Sibrel and Vinny for bringing, him in, and y'all giving him a warm welcome. Whether we got challenges with what's being presented or not, the space. You present the information, let everybody do their own research. So I appreciate that. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, it's the last day of Taurus season. Today is Toussaint Louverture's birthday. You understand what I'm saying? The leading military strategist who set off the wave of liberation and created a liberated zone in what's now called Haiti. So, we honor him today. You see what I'm saying? In the space of those who fight against the truth. The ones who are the speaker of the truth, like the Bible said, the speaker of truth has no friends. You see what I'm saying? So the brother came through, he dropped his science, he dropped his information, he did what he needed to do. And y'all know what it's like to have your truth be marginalized. You see what I'm saying? I'm looking at dynamic artists and dynamic minds. And the beautiful thing about the truth is it creates space for you to catch up to it. You see what I'm saying? So when you're ready for the truth is right there. And we here today on Truth is Squared. You see what I'm saying? So the Wisdom Cipher degree day. You see what I'm saying? So and that Wisdom Cipher degree in Supreme Alphabets is truth or square. You see what I'm saying? So folks, you stand on your truth and you stand and you square up. You ready, because when you coming with the truth, you know what it is. See what I'm saying? So let me give it up to the truth saber in the building. You understand? The one who brings the message of redemption to the world. Rasul, lost children of Babylon. You understand? Let me give him his love.
Oh, thank you very much. Shukran Jazilin, my brother. Shukran Jazilin.
Afwan. Okay. So the soul of Allah in the building with his team still rocking. The Celtics is still in the building. The soul of Allah, we about to start this with my Gemini brother.
Yeah, that's right.
Solo gems.
Yep, you know what I mean? Shout out to Knowledge Born, Celtics in 5 again. Shout out to the Pacers.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
That's it. Running the rocket. Rain, sleet, hail, snow, earthquakes. Yeah. Architect D. Ain't Dizzle. And the reason for the season. the interruption of negative thought and whack lyrics. Okay, the Rebus mastermind, the one who is the double-headed pineal pin, the space between spirit matter and matter, the vanguard of hip hop, Killah Priest.
Man. But that introduction was incredible.
We should have him introduce the show.
Rebus. Yeah. Oh, that's fire.
Knowledge Born should introduce the show with like an opening curtain. Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen. What they used to say on wrestling? For the thousands in attendance, the millions at home.
Yeah.
If we ever do a live show, like with a studio audience and a stage, Knowledge Born's gonna be the first one out with a microphone to introduce everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he'll be like, "Let me introduce to you," and then the curtains open, and then it's all of us right there.
Yeah, man.
I'll be backstage.
No doubt.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on. You know.
Damn.
D8, man. Go ahead.
All right. Let's go. Next up now, we've got a track submission from FG Postmortem.
What's up?
From Long Island, New York, Orlando, Florida. Song is called Reptar Bars, produced by Walter Warm, and Chasing After Money, produced by Dos Koalas.
I like that. Well, Walter Warm. It's an ill name.
Yeah.
Walter Warm.
Shout out to Tom.
Metatron Dawn, tell them get a jar, but they green with envy, like I got the last Reptar bar. Upper echelon, look proud like fresh mowed lawn, humming hymns, freeboarding like bumblebee tuna. Always thought the end of the world was gonna be sooner, but there's no real pictures of the globe on the computer. Confirm the earth flat with no curvature, with cell phone pictures and a calculator. Miles above the clouds and chemtrail vapors made me realize that there's a true creator. Even haters feeling like they stepped on Legos, cause they had to unlearn everything and let go of their egos. The best part of the center of Reptar Bar, leaving your tongue green like money emoji. Funny cause they still trying to roast me, cause I was slow dancing with their bitch buying groceries. Humming like a bee up in her ovary, smiling like she no speaker English from overseas. Beat it like a red-headed stepchild or Chucky from Rugrats style.
Chasing after money and dreams that can't come true.
Yeah, we out here chasing this money, but why the dollar sign gotta look like a snake? This shit is funny. Style like Doug, I used to watch as a youth. Now chasing after paper, wads of some loot. Chasing after money, trying to make dreams come true. Can turn into a nightmare, depending on the way I move. Some lose their souls, doing things they don't wanna do. Bitches digging for gold, for a new pair of boobs. It's like jumping out of a plane without a parachute. Chasing after money could lead to traps too.
Chasing after money.
Kinda like
dreams that can't come true.
Attacking us with taxes is what these fake Jews do. Creating the Federal Reserve, putting symbols on it too. Stars of Remphan on the Washingtons, with eyes on top of pyramids, watching me.
Scapegoated the Rothschilds too.
Damn. Oh, he's dropping knowledge right there. Shout out to FG, doing his thing, doing his style. He's consistent.
Yeah.
And I think there's something to be said about consistency. What y'all think?
Yeah, great job on that. I like that. You know what I mean? Got the reverence, you know what I mean, from my childhood. You know what I mean? That's a good mention. You know, me talking about money, talking about his knowledge, and shout out to him. He killed it.
Yeah. Totally rad, dude.
All right, yeah. You know what? You know what's dope? I finally realized the similarity between him and Ari the Rugged Man, because he's really from Long Island, and so Long Island is Ari also.
So I get a little bit. You probably know him, or I don't know if I already do know him, but I do hear a similarity between the two, and that's a compliment for him.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope.
All right, KB, you guys anything to say?
This was epic right here. FG. This is the thing that made you most appealing right here. This right here. This is your lane. This is your niche. I know the other stuff is cool and it might be funny, but this is you. You know, you pull the wool from people's eyes. You pull the rug from under them. You have them think. You have them thinking about what they're thinking about. This is epic. This is truly you. Like, this is you. 100% you. Stay this place right here. We need more, folks that break stuff down. You have a gift with this. Stay with it. Keep making us think. Keep making us push that envelope and challenge things. Keep standing on your square and kicking the truth. Salute, FG. This was epic.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we've got Aurora Borealis with a song called Rapper David J. Blazer Holding It Down, produced by Unknown.
Take off your glasses as I approach you. Yo, bop me through your bifocal. I come still, yes, y'all, I'm bivocal. Yes, y'all, that means I got versatile ability. Grab the microphone and put you in mental facility. After I'm done, guys, I'm the one who energized the cipher. Flows twice as nicer than the average MC. Trying to be spitting some written round two, thought you knew. I spit in different types of fucking ways. David J. the Blaze, jump in the cipher with the flav. What you thinking when you stepping? You had best behave, and cause your fist behaving. I be taking you down to the ground, that's when I'm making you bow down to the Lord, but not like that though, cause that be Jesus and the whole world, he need us to get together and get along forever. However, pretty sea-bound in the Navy. Oh my God, man, I wish I was playing. These is the end times like Revelation. Ain't saying you evil, you were just kicking it with the wrong people. Get on track, we be pleasing the Lord, he be blessing us. Anyone who wanna be testing us, we confessing us, yo. Yes, we do. We say our faults. We just make our life better and keep getting better forever. However, we still be attacked. That's why I'm strapped with the Bible. Revival, homicidal towards a demon. Yo, we have to be uncomfortable for real and get a resurrection all over again like 91 through 94. Hip hop took it to the 11th floor and now we gotta get back to the 37th. Pick up the microphone. Yo, I'm checking. Just like that. Gems and boom bapping, all facts. Underground hip hop lyrics and beats that's straight for real.
All right. Shout out to Aurora Borealis and David J. Blazer.
Yeah, I just make that comparison. Come on now, man.
Yeah, you did.
I just made that comparison.
You
right?
called it.
I mean, I'm not, I'm just one of those guys. You know what I mean? I just see how I see it. You know what I mean? They gonna do how they do it. You feel me?
That's why you're good with the sports.
Yeah, man.
And the things you do.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm good for what I see. You know what I mean? I use my eyes a lot. You know what I mean? I listen. You know what I mean? I understand how people are. You know what I mean? So that's my greatest, one of my greatest gifts, I would say. You know what I mean? That's what I was saying. My comparison was, no matter how you criticize them, they're gonna do what they do because that's how they are. You know what I mean? Right. End of the day, they gonna have their own mind. Everybody has their own way of doing things.
Now they collaborate,
and that's how they are. You know what I mean? I respect that. I definitely respect that. You know what I mean? No matter how much no matter how much you want this out of them, they're gonna do their thing because that's how they're gonna do it. At the end of the day.
Whoop! There it is.
Real talk. You know what I mean? But shout out to both of them. You know what I mean? I like the collab.
Yeah. How you like that, Russell?
I couldn't. Was Aurora Borealis on that?
Yeah.
Nah. Well,
which one was he?
Well,
Who was he?
No, he made a beat.
Aurora co-produced that beat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he got to work on that. You gotta work on that flow, man. He kind of sound like the other guy from the first guy we listened to.
Yeah, that's who it was.
That was him?
Yeah, that was him. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
damn.
they're collaborating now.
Mm-hmm.
I just think, man, if you want to really say some stuff, man, why don't you try to take it seriously, man? Just put something together. I hear what you're trying to do, brother, but just put something together take it seriously, man. You all over the place with it. Take it seriously. I don't know. I'm just keeping it real, man.
All right. Knowledge born.
Rasul has entered the Podcraft. Okay? Salute, Rasul. I like him. I like David J. Blazer. He showed his face today, and he wanted me to stop saying that you was him and he was you. Okay, so
yeah,
y'all are not the same person. Okay,
thank you.
We got it. I know, but y'all got a Spider-Man Venom relationship. I like it. You know, it's dope.
Mm-hmm.
I like his boldness. I'm telling you. Once he finds out who he wants to be and what he truly wants to do, I think he's gonna be super dope. I like what he's doing. I like that he's in this experimental stage. You see what I'm saying? Like him and Aurora, like, look, Solo Jim, you called that jump, man.
Yeah.
Clear. It was epic. It was inevitable.
Yo, it's crazy. I didn't even know that was gonna happen though.
So them working together. Lyrics aside. What did he sound like on Aurora's beat?
I don't know. I really can't.
From a sound perspective, not from a rhyme perspective. From a sound perspective, what did he sound? Did he sound good on Aurora's beat?
He was experimenting. It was a bit loud.
Hmm.
It was a bit loud. It just needs to be mixed, and you can get your tracks mixed at Studio AD.
Damn.
$100 a song. Okay. First song is
right
free.
There, man.
I mean, I might as well do
$100, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
$100. First one's free. Mix and master.
Right.
I like this collab, man. I like this collab, and I think that they could work it. And I think in that space they'll find a way to bring the best out of each other. You know what I'm saying? Because Aurora he's been experimenting. He's really finding his sound now. So he could help somebody along the way who's looking to find their sound / their identity.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so he's there. Salute to David J. Blazer, man, in the role for the collab.
All right, we got 3 more to go. Next up now, we got Onie Deini.
Take Rasul advice though. Let me say that.
Yeah.
Take Rasul and Killah Priest advice. Take that advice. Take it to heart. Okay.
Word. Here we go. Onie Deini with a track called Nickelbag and Rogue.
You wanna turn him on, you play this song. You play this song about 3-4 times a day.
Have you ever had a better pitter patter drum? Little rapper whack one time for some action. Act on, did he gone wrong? Here we come, in the city slum bomb. Rush the show, where you really from? Yo, don't try to play me out. This is called a show, show what I'm about. I'm trying to get the knock, make you feel it when it bumps. A nickel bag of funk, a nickel bag of funk.
You play this song about 3-4 times a day.
Yo, I hate when the devil's happy, so I stay vexed naturally. Blue moon fall can't stop me. Who got the props? Agent Tesseract, patient, never whack, amazing. Back and forth, pacing, rapper racing, pen and pad, tracing raw lettuce back on the pavement, crawl past all glass, bottle drunk your ass, walked in the door, smash more cash, give you the loot with your poor ass.
Play this song about 3-4 times a day.
Brainiac dum-dums, bust the scientifical, the source of my thoughts, walk the giant and mythical off with the sensational style, rickety bow, effects like a symphony, the symmetry is symphony back, like a centipede trapped by the centipede sack, synergy with this energy send feedback. Yo, black, we don't need that, it's 10 o'clock, ho, no, get the fuck off my beanbag. Brainiac dum-dums, bust the scientifical,
Play this song about 3-4 times a day.
it's like this, y'all, that's yours, wax being scratched. All the time, let's bring it back, catch. Like we being hatched after incubating, synchronized, innovative thinking, infiltrating, simulating MCs, seeing suckers stutter with the rhetoric to the head and lick shots. Let each letter stick like an alphabetic derelict, Chattanooga champ.
Like
Selling through the sea of monsters, conquer Al, another scientist. I ain't shit flying this, landed on the shores of the war, man, the war through the swords, battle axe, battle hatch, shadow traps to light up the day. As we pray, coaches to end, coaches to sin, coaches wins, global men, poetry transcend, the hold up pen, so to get the shoot, act from God's roof, they disappear like poof. God remain God, roll guards, tall beautiful gods, the raw-headed villain, rubbing the emperor scars, words were chilling from the land of law. Tell the account, send them out, for the count on Mount Yugoslavia, moved the bodies of Dr. Smith and his sexy sidekick. The bitch was high risk, right then bullets flew to the iris of his ISIS. Grabbed the nurse, that game was dialysis, they both fall into his gold obelisk. Dragon selling through the sea of monsters, talking out, another scientist, iron ships in a flying fish, laying on the shores of the world.
All right. Give it up. That was Onie Deini with Nickelbag and Rogue. That was cool. She be making compositions.
Yeah, it's dope. Awesome.
Yeah. That's it. I already knew that. Yeah, Diggle Plenus inspiration right there. You know what I mean? I heard it too in the Nickelback. But yeah, dope. That was dope. You know what I mean? My dad loved the second. You know what I mean? The second second part. You know what I mean? You know you're gonna love that. So shout out to Onie Deini for that. She killed it though. Did her thing. And shout out to the artists that was on there too. You know what I mean? They killed it too.
Word. All right, KB, you got anything to say?
I don't think he's there. Is he there?
I don't think he's there.
I don't see him there.
All right.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, this was a movie, right?
There you go.
This was a movie. Okay, so we got an assortment where we had, damn near opening act, and then we get a priest for them. So shout out to Onie for being cinematic without a video. You understand what I'm saying? Like we watched the whole movie, we listened to it. You see what I'm saying? Sonically, everything, like all of the layers, and then bam, we get a priest finale. That's a game changer.
There we go.
I like the versatility and the switch up. So salute to Onie Deini for being her.
All right. Let's go. Next now we got a submission from Crip Jesus.
Hey.
It's called God, Body, Soul.
I keep telling you, consciousness over coochie, politics over punani. I keep telling y'all that. Consciousness comes.
As I remain conscious on this 24,896 mile circumference, you ain't about that life, you can't come amongst us, we monsters. They got a call SWAT to confront us, the blood scared to front us. I laugh like my blunt up, you gotta stay down if you really want to come up. It's gravity, fuck social media, it's reality. Plus I'm in tune with a whole different galaxy. I'm Mansoor, Ansari, Kansu, Allah. I could trace this to my mama's mitochondria. God in my body, it's molecular, telepathic. My cells talk to your cells, call it cellular. 360, 365, the whole area. I'm in Turkey at the Blue Mosque, rolling devils up the spine to the 32nd vertebrae. To the 33rd degree, watch me graduate, radiate, gravitate. Nigga, you gon' need a passport just to get inside this mind state. My soul, God body in my soul, God body in my soul, God body in my soul. I'm from a Merovingian bloodline. I'm from the lost tribe of Benny and Brown. I'm a descendant of a kin of time, not just the flyest. I'm Gullah Geechee, I'm a child of Goliath. I'm black on both sides, so I can't help but be biased. What you represent, nigga, I'm black Illuminati. I don't fuck with Obama, cause that nigga killed Gaddafi. Look at my vision, the streets clean, the hood redeemed, no more division. It's motivation for all my niggas stuck in the system, and all my sisters that hold them down and pay them visits. You either win or you lose, you make your decision. I'm vibrating on a whole nother frequency. I remember when they wasn't believing me, now when they seeing me, they wanna leave me. Maybe it's cause the G in me, or the energy in me, yeah. Somebody in my soul. Somebody in my soul. Somebody in my soul. Somebody in my soul.
Hey. Nice. Cool track. I like the filter effect. The guy body in my soul. That's cool.
Yo, yeah, Crip Jesus killed that. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
Killed it. I love the beat. I love his lyrics. I mean, he killed it. You know what I mean? Shout out to Crip Jesus, man.
Good production.
Yeah, it was dope. Dope. I like the beat, and I like that. One thing I liked about it is it was he was able to take lyrics like that and simplify it. See what I'm saying? And give a dope hook to it as well with the beat. So it coincided. It was a culmination and made it work. That could be played on the radio right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's always good to be able to take complex lyrics and make it, you know, listenable to the audience.
Catchy hook.
Yeah. So yeah, man, shout out. He gets 1,000 mics for that. That was an awesome one. I like that.
KP said he liked it. He said it was dope.
All his stuff is dope. I've been listening to some of Crip Jesus stuff online. All his stuff is pretty cool. It's pretty dope. I like it.
Nice. Now let's Born.
Crip Jesus, man. Peace to the God, man. I love how he's using this alchemy. You know, he's using this alchemy from lived experiences and then, you know, aspirations. You see what I'm saying? So he's speaking metaphorically and he's speaking real life. So he's blending both of the worlds together. You know, that's hip hop. So you can use your imagination to create the world that your mind can produce, and you know, that's your existence. And then he doubles down where he's not removed from what's actually going on in reality. So, you know, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, man. It's hip hop.
There you go.
God, man. Crip Jesus.
Very nice. All right, it's time for the feature presentation.
Okay.
We got a feature presentation this time. And this is none other by Ty Phoenix.
Hey.
All right.
That's right.
Yeah. Yes. The mothership.
Yes.
Scream the name out. Royal Priest. Let's go.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I like Ty Phoenix. Yeah.
Song is, we're going to go full screen on this.
She's very lovely.
Right? The song is called Tidal Wave. Oh, hold on a second. All right, here we go.
Yep.
Tidal Wave.
Tidal wave, tidal wave, tidal wave, tidal wave.
They say that the ending is closer. The awakened eye can see. Permanent prisoners trapped in a land of lies and make-believe. Look how the plot is twisted. Karma's collecting her fees. So ironic, your iconic heroes are liars and thieves. Cognitive dissonance, they suffer denial disease. Supposed educated scholars with higher degrees. They so confused, don't know they allies from their enemies. Would rather fight to the death on my feet than to die on my knees. You ain't put in the same work as me. You entertaining niggas. I rewire brain circuitry. I demolish lies and blast truth. Give your ass proof. Locked in this firmament, they cannot break this glass roof. They claim that Eve is the reason Adam decided to bite the apple. But why is a woman to blame? You lack the strength to fight your battle. It's an eternal war. Aim and let my arrow soar. I dead in my haters. Word to true, I'm about to bury more. This tidal wave is tremendous. Rebirth, spiritual cleansing. That world you remember dead and gone. That world you knew has ended. We got the higher call that Babylon's inclined to fall. We shall prevail. We the righteous greater than China wall. I mix the water, the fire, the earth. Elemental magic. A dose of air. Now I'm flying higher than Aladdin. They feel it floating in the atmosphere. They try and grab it, but their soul is too contaminated like a biohazard. I'm out your way. I duck and dodge. I weave and pivot. It's no facade. I'm really balanced like an even digit. My silver moon and water Pisces. I'm a dreaming mystic, actively consistent. I'm gifted to keep my people lifted. Lift the empty eyes inside of a demon. Give the coldest stare. They hate my glow. I'm beaming like a human solar flare. A meteor shower. Beautiful adorned flower. They can't deny I'm magical. They can't ignore my power. Goddess is winning in my deck of cards. All aces. I've been hurt performing light work in the darkest of places. Behind ungodly faces. I can spot their lame intentions. We never been on the same dimension. It's time for you to fade away. Fade away, fade away, fade away. Nothing left to do, can't save them, it's too late. About to hit them like a tidal wave. Like a tidal wave. Watch the world fade away. Nothing left to do, can't save them, it's too late. Hitting harder than a tidal wave. Fade away, fade away.
Fire. Summer.
Killed that.
Fire. Flawlessness.
Yo.
Yeah, dope track.
Lovely.
Yes, she's very lovely, isn't she?
Summer got to get ready.
Sounded nice.
Yeah. That sounds summer, and summer got to get ready.
Oh, she's awesome. She's beautiful. You know, just so beautiful. You know, and the song was dope too.
Right.
She's making beautiful music.
Yeah, she is very lovely. She's very lovely, isn't she?
You got Stevie Wonder. Isn't she lovely?
Isn't she lovely?
Yes.
We'll get a copyright.
I love Ty Phoenix.
Tidal Wave.
Tidal Wave.
That was the name.
That's the name of
the song.
I told you. Yo, she every time, and this is like that was there was so many lines I got to go back on that, but yo, it's summer. It's still a summer beautiful song. Beautifully laid out. Is right there for us, and I got to go back on the lyrics on that. She said some punchlines that was so dope. Drew Barrymore or something like that. But she said one before that. That was a good vibe, and just everything's there, man. She's the full package. Royal Priestess, stand up. That's the Royal Priestess.
The Royal Priestess.
Oh, she right there. There
Name
she go.
now, Royal Priest, and she in the building. I see.
Yeah, I see it.
Shout out to the tidal wave. Okay, she's a Cancer.
You don't like it, we love it. Cancer.
She's a Cancer, so she's showing you how to ride the wave and the ability to amplify and magnify nature in her majesty. You see what I'm saying? That's why she's the mothership. She's mothering in a new era of consciousness and in the fullness of her thought, you know, from the spiritual to the material. You know, she's the phoenix that teaches us how to rise up from the ashes. You see what I'm saying? So from the womb of her mind to the womb of our reality with her pen is the tidal wave. You see what I'm saying? Her pen is the tidal wave. So the waves that come in, some is cool and calm, and what? The others is swift and changeable. So you see the versatility in her flow and her delivery. but it's always strong. You see what I'm saying? So she studies it with her chest, so to speak. So she's not to be tampered with in any kind of form. You see what I'm saying? That's why she's the royal priestess. That's why she's the mothership. That's why she's the mother, mothering us into a space of consciousness. The rebirth of real hip hop, courtesy of the royal priesthood. Okay?
Well,
salute to Ty Phoenix with the title Wave.
Yeah,
Yo, that was great.
Ty Phoenix, I mean, it's just like, it's like the Falcon and the Phoenix. That would be an awesome combination, you know what I mean? The Falcon and the Phoenix. Yeah, Ty has always been just awesome, It's like a flash forward in time when you listen to Ty Phoenix. You know what I mean? She's like a beautiful sunflower flowing
And she's
in the
a
wind.
ruler. She's a ruler. Heru. Come on.
Well, she's really Het Heru. See, I'm Heru and she's Het Heru. A beautiful culmination.
Right.
You see?
Yeah, and shout out to Ty. Also, we got her contributions. She sent a little contribution to the Podcraft.
Oh man!
So gotta make sure she gets that recognition for that. We appreciate you.
Oh, thank you.
It's Ty the Wave.
Yeah, because we might need a new camera soon, so she might be helping us out with that.
It's Ty the Wave. Yeah.
Thank
Ty
you.
Wave. Right. Yeah, exactly. Ty and Ty. We got to do it. We got to do it. Word, that's fire, man. She said the Falcon. Yeah. She said the Falcon and the Phoenix. No, she says she a dove.
I don't have any dove sound effects.
I don't know why she put a dove up there. A phoenix, Well,
We'll straighten that out.
I think she's the dove.
No, she's a phoenix bird.
Oh.
Or she's a Het Heru, the falcon.
She's like,
okay?
There you go.
She's not a dove.
Man.
How can she be a dove, AD?
She said she's Het Heru. Yeah.
That's Het Heru.
Yeah, that's what she said. Ooh,
Yeah, that's the mother of dance. That's the mother of music.
We got Het.
Yeah.
And then you have Heru. So Heru is she would be the head of the house of Heru.
Right.
You see?
Yes. That's the house. Hey, yeah.
So I come from, what I mean? Het Heru.
Okay.
The house of Heru. So.
Well, Heru there.
AD, don't mess up the ancient. Don't mess up the ancient language, man. What are you doing, man?
I'm sorry.
Hero.
So she has the other side, which is segment. This is why she's so visceral on the mic.
Oh yeah.
So she has the accommodating space of the wave. You see the duality because we're walking in the Gemini season, so I got to give you both assets. Shout out to solo gems, okay? So that the wave that comes in, it could be a cool, calming wave. It almost looks like it's dancing its way in, right? So that wave comes in, and it's real smooth. She very light, she very pleasant with it. You see what I'm saying? And then she pick up that microphone and she goes straight segment. So she's water, but it's flame. So when that wave comes in crashing and decimates what you have out there, so you built your little sand castle, or you thought you came with your little rhyme. No, she's coming to overcome it, overwhelm it, and drag it back out into the sea. So segment comes into the place where you have gone past the crossroads and now you're being drugged into correction. So if you don't reform in that space, the last force that you meet along that journey is death.
And that's the rise of the phoenix.
Yes. And that's the resurrection. So it's death, but it's also resurrection. So to leave one space and to go into another space, it's a transformation. You see what I'm saying? So,
like the caterpillar to the butterfly.
Right. So it's a death of one instance, but a life in another. So that twin relationship between life and death. So you have, in the supreme form, you have Aset, right? And her twin sister is Nebhet. So you have life and you have death right there in the space of the twins. Salute.
Okay. That was good. Okay, that was a pre-release right there. That was exclusive right there.
Hey.
Oh, wow.
So the official one's going to come out soon. I'm not sure when, but she gave us an exclusive sneak peek, so to speak.
That's right.
Come on, let me sneak right on there. That's fire.
That's it. Sure she got space for you, Priest. Hop on that joint.
Hey.
Okay.
Yo.
And this concludes the song promotion segment.
Hey.
Yo. Man, we touched on a lot, man. I'm just doing this. Man, Bart came through, shut it down today, man. That was great. That was great. Bart coming through. And Vinny, man, thank you once again. I know you looking. Hopefully you are. You see it tomorrow. Whatever. That was dope. KB is always coming through with the knowledge and man, your orientation skills be beyond. Word. I love it. Word. And hey,
so we got 5 minutes for the week breakdown.
Yeah. Let's do it.
5-6 minutes.
Yes, let's do it. Let's do it.
Can we play the joint one more time?
Play one more time.
Every reason at all to usher in Gemini season.
Run the path back.
Oh, the path.
Mm-hmm. Let's run it. Y'all still in the building. Let's go. Scientists study the rhesus monkeys near the eastern countries. Greece for Caesars and Egypt for mummies. She takes a sip of honey, the queen bee hides the hive amongst the trees. The monks roll up leaves, harvest rice and tea on the donkeys. Flower nectar, lotus, they notice bees hungry. The powder's measured and put in grams in Pakistan. It's stacked in brand and placed upon a caravan. Ancient as the Pharaoh lands and Bantus with a camel stand. They take samples and light candles and gamble, mouth rambling. The taboo of tattoos of Heru on Tamu. Angel Gabriel, Cain and Abel. The ring and chain appraisal. Prayer, holy air up the nasal. Ointment, sage roots, and basil. My acupuncture, my voodoo doll, pins and Jesus. Dead bleeding from the crucifix holes I hold. Let his blood drip in a bowl. I keep flicking his skull. Then I pick and pinch in his bowls. Then fill the dish with some cloves. Rosemary's in the foot of a crow. Cat's tongue, I'm the black one. Before my raps come, these are my actions. Each doll I pack them with bat crumbs. And pour it in my pen before I begin. These are my origins. Deadly 4 sins of the horsemen. The Philistines, the guillotine. Cut off their foreskins. Saul and David were still the kings. Atheists hold crosses. I'm lawless when writing. Flawless, tortured. Horrors when rhyming. Rigor mortis outlining. With white chalk, lights off. Priest with the mic cross. Killer let the knife talk. Leave you on the sidewalk. The ghost rides the white horse. The rat dies from nighthawks. Unholy ceremony begins like the torch. The corpse, the seance. White paper, black crayons. The path to the graveyard. The mass under the quasars. The heavens clash with hell. Gravity propels. The mountains lift up as well as the storms fell. Flip a coin, heads or tail on Jezebel. Crucifixions or better nails. Lucifer Christians, the undead dwells. Eyes closed, so did the Bible and said spells. He likes his wine red and grells. He held, her eyes were white like the pearls from an oyster shell. Let's go. When I write, it's like show and tell. Israelites in the old Israel. The 60 life with co-and-tell. Bro, chariots of fire follow my flow. With winged angels, each direction arching their bows. I get dark as they go. Black cherubim strumming harps get exposed. They come apart into priest fold. Me and the beat becomes one soul. Then I fade into light while waving the mic. Witness the sun scroll. Written in my pineal pen. No beginning, no end. Helen's only begotten, it came from the wind. I'm Houdini into Kundalini. I lift my beanie, there's a blue genie. Next to godliness, too cleanly but true kingly. Priest, Absu, Anu, or Inky. Or Inky do, I'm just an MC. KB, the corpse, the seance,
I like that.
paper, black crayons, the path to the
I like that. That was hard.
Yo.
I like that.
Let's talk about it.
I like how you flipped that right there.
Oh, yeah.
Inky, yeah.
Genie, yeah.
Yeah, you killed me with that.
Oh, man.
So
Man,
many
hip-hop
joints,
is...
though.
Huh?
So many joints,
Yo,
Priest.
hip-hop is ready.
From that realm.
It's a secret right there. Oh, man.
We gotta go back to Egypt and really film a video. All of us on the camels, you rapping. That would blow. Nobody's done that. Maybe nobody's done it in this day and time.
I think I did do it, but just give it a second. Let it breathe for me.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you did? You did do something out there?
I did shoot a little something out there.
Yeah,
I did. Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Knowledge Boy. I can't wait for this. We have to do another show.
It's leaked. I'll definitely come back and give it the time. I just want to give a little teaser. AD, could you put it back up on the screen?
Shout out to all the Geminis.
Mm-hmm.
Put it back on the screen.
Yeah, can you put the
cover?
The cover up on the screen.
Dum, 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 dum.
Yeah, so I was there for when the live actually, when the premiere, when it dropped on the channel. So, we were in the chat, going, anticipating, going through the countdown. It was the 30-second countdown. We was scratching, ourselves like some priest heads. You see what I'm saying? Not crackheads. We was priest heads out there. You see what I'm saying? Fiending for a fix. Play more Killah Priest. So if y'all look at this, you see this crown jewel right here.
Man.
In the space of this heart, this oval shaped, egg shaped kind of heart right there. You see what I'm saying? Because Priest do everything from his heart. So a little closer right here, and he got the rebus. Now I did the knowledge to the rebus, and I was like, oh, okay. They said it comes from res bina, meaning double matter. So literally what I was just speaking about in regards to both of the spaces, and when I gave them the introduction, I added it in the introduction. So this is the space where the petrification meets the purification. So if you don't get it in life, you get it in death. So for those who misunderstood what Priest said in life, especially for the MCs, okay, because he's always out there. You see what I'm saying? Just in case you thought this wasn't the place where this happens, yeah. They'll talk about it at your funeral. They'll talk about it at your graveyard if you're not righteous. So this is a space for the righteous. You see what I'm saying? So you see the two birds right there. You see what I'm saying? You see the two birds. You see the compass in the square, Rasul. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you got the science of that. You see what I'm saying? Me on the level apart on the square, right?
That right there, really, it's a Masonic coat of arms symbol. The brother must have changed it up a little bit, but that's exactly what it is. You have, I guess, I don't know what he changed. I have to go back and do my research, but he put Priest there, and I think that's Priest's Uma.
Yeah, he put
that's
it all together, right? So this is his mind. This is Priest's mind. So people are, they often ask, so what are you? What are you? So he's showing you how he's able to blend in everything that he learned and everything that he's channeling. Because he ain't write this. I know you ain't write this. You don't gotta answer me. You ain't gotta answer me, okay? I know you didn't pick up a pen and write this. You wrote this with your pineal pen. You didn't write this with your hand. You understand what I'm saying? You ain't gotta tell me. You ain't gotta tell me, but you just told me. So you understand?
Well, that's not Priest. That's Melchizedek. Priest ain't here right now.
So
Priest is in New York.
We put this together
back in Brooklyn.
And he's riding on this winged dragon. You see what I'm saying? So the serpentine, so in that space where they was just talking about
he's standing on
the Kundalini and the 32 vertebrae. You see what I'm saying? He's riding on it, but it looks like you have to conquer it in order for you can't just get on the dragon. You understand what I'm saying? So you had to have mastered this level. So from the reptilian space or from the sacral space, from that root space, you see he's still trying to spit fire. He can't spit fire. You see what I'm saying? So it's a double entendre. You can take it how you want to take it. He's riding this dragon or he's destroying this dragon, and this dragon is trying to spit fire and can't. You see what I'm saying? So he vanquished it. He got victory over those who tried to hold him down, who tried to box him into a place, and he's above it. He's above the earth, and the earth is in motion. You see what I'm saying? I don't know if that's a round earth or a flat earth. I'm gonna leave that for AD. You understand what I'm saying? So he's there.
We ain't moving at all.
Hey, man, come on, man.
There's no motion.
You're gonna make me mad, man.
So
Priest is down with me. We don't
space,
believe
right?
in that.
All right, I forgive y'all.
Yeah, all right.
This is
I'm
a
back. I'm
space
back.
to where it's a double-headed man. So dealing with this double matter, and we approaching Gemini season, so it's right on time for the darts to be out there because he has the sun, the moon, and the stars. You understand what I'm saying? So we see this whole universe in this universal manner and this alchemical blend of great work. So if you're in a space to be tried, on today is the truth of square, you're tried by the square. So your work. So when they were building the temple, when they were building King Solomon's temple, they would bring their work and present their work for inspection. So they would try it by the square. So every angle of the square tried every brick that was there. So we know they weren't building a physical building. We're talking about our mind, our body, our spirit, our consciousness being tried by the square. And in every angle, it's supposed to be congruent with the square. So every space where they placed the square upon the stone, they were able to take that part that's in the middle and go right through to a side or an angle of the square. So this spiritual building that we're building from the top down, from the capstone to its foundation, is man. So we're building man in this space of a perfected space. So lyrically, you're providing an opportunity in the midst of all of the chaos and the confusion and those things that look like fire-breathing dragons to be vanquished. You see what I'm saying? So literally, those who aren't standing in that space of righteousness, behold, I'll send you Malachi before the dreadful. In the book of Malachi, it said, behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the dreadful coming of the Lord. That's the last line in the book of Malachi, the last line of the Old Testament. You see what I'm saying? So, you represent the last of a living breed of MCs, not a dying breed, because those ones, they need to die off so the real ones can live. The real ones continue to rise like the cream. It rises to the top. So this space with these mighty wings, you're there putting us in a space of elevation as, Helen's only begotten son down at the bottom. You see what I'm saying? Only begotten of the mother, right? You see what I'm saying? Only begotten of the mother. So that's why it was fitting that Ty came on, being the Cancer, being that mothering spirit, being that house spirit, right? Yeah. To usher in a relook at this leak, and a leak with leaks, some sort of fluid. You see what I'm saying? So from that space, that what you call that, the precipitation or that dew from Haman, right? So if you go back to Psalms 133, as the dew of Haman, the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion, for there the Lord commanded the blessing, even life forevermore. So that dew was there. That was the precipitation, so the rainfall wouldn't stop the building. The craftsmen wouldn't stop building King Solomon's temple. And look at King Solomon sitting right there next to his father. You understand what I'm saying? So literally, the two heads that'll keep you in the space of righteousness, y'all looking at them, this image reflects what's happening in real life. You see what I'm saying? So the Father and the Son and the Father and I are one. When you see me, you've seen the Father. You see what I'm saying? So all of this works all together, and you have a circle and square and pyramid within the circle and the cross within the circle. All of the cardinal points there. And the last thing I'll say real quick is the pleroma is described as the spiritual universe, as the abode of God, and the totality of the divine powers and emanations. So, the utterance of that. Right? So this is where plethora comes from, right? This is where plethora comes from. This is where Oma comes from. You know, Oma, mother. Okay, Umi, mother, Ma. You see what I'm saying? So,
man, you got
mother's son.
To another.
Right?
Yo, you just chisel through. You just chisel through this. Oh man.
So yeah, I just wanted to give it some love. So when y'all hear the lyrics, you can hear it with a new mind. You see what I'm saying? So Priest is there representing a renewal of the mind. You see what I'm saying? In spirit and in truth. So salute for the lead and keeping us on the righteous path. You see what I'm saying? Because what they say, that the path to hell is paved with good intentions. You see what I'm saying? So you're proof that the gates of hell will not prevail.
That's peace. Yo, but we gotta build after this. You gotta break this down. When we get back here, do the whole breakdown. All right, and I'm gonna come to your channel too. We're gonna do that. You killing it. All right, and then he caught it. He killed it with the Gemini straight off top. The dual, and perfect timing, right? At Gemini, you caught that, the duality. Yo, all right. So we're about to get up out of here. Word. Yo, with that, we're gonna say, what you gonna play? You might as well play it again on the way out.
Come on, let's get out of here.
Or somebody said,
Emerald City is closer and prettier than ever.
Yeah. Abner Bird.
Step into the sun, step into the
We got the secrets behind the ice wall.
Eskimo scripts, snow glyphs, language seems the oldest. The ancient kings and poets. Pole shift, I try to keep my composure beneath the solar eclipse. Exposure, what happens next and over. I'm trekking over. Polar bears is nowhere. All white snow gear with no fear. Who else been here? We have no idea. The whole sky is clear. As far as the other side, we just polarized and appeared. Priest and Deini notified the spheres. Reporting for Admiral Byrd, we see cattle and herds. And see people and hear their voices in our head. And comprehending, though in their appearance it seemed like they just babbling words. Who's these pharaohs we observe? Who's these masters that serve? On the other side, disasters occurred. They said you safe here, Shakespeare.
We about to see what's behind the ice wall. We about to see what's behind the ice wall. We about to see what's behind the ice wall. Ice, 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 ice. We about to see what's behind the ice wall. We about to see what's behind the ice wall. Ice, 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 ice. We about to see what's behind the ice wall.
Looking at the kite we built, these stories that these eyes can tell. Why it's all this ice up here, milk through this icy hill. 1,700 miles beyond the North Pole, no more ice or snow. Green forests, lakes, and rivers, the great unknown. What I seen could have been the epitome. Amethyst, lapis, aquamarine, ain't got nothing on the crystal city. As we journey into the hollow earth, different flying pies emerge. Take over controls, everything was froze. Guided me down, suppose. In my mind they spoke, gave me wisdom. I felt primitive, I was asleep, now woke. Then my eyes would glow. It was trace, not dose, with my pinal comb. Future wars was told, fortune tellers. 3 wishes from the genie, was it worth the toll? Imagine knowing the unthinkable. Codes to the universe, I got receipts for them.
We about to see what's behind the ice wall. Now we 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 see what's behind the ice wall. Ice, 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 ice. Now we see what's behind the ice wall.